take on the Georgetown Hoyas in a MAC Football League matchup. We're live from rainy Keogh Field in Washington, D.C. St. John's and Georgetown have enjoyed fine reputations in basketball, but in football they've played some wild and wacky games recently. Last year, over 1,100 yards total offense and 82 points are scored. Hi again, everybody. I'm Barry Landers, joined, of course, by Marty Lyons. St. John's coming off a big win last week against Duquesne. What can we expect today?
Well, Barry, the only thing you've got to look at on the offensive side of the ball is number 21, Anthony Russo. 3 plays. He'll run it to the left, to the right, and take it up the middle. This guy is small but durable. Look for him to get strong in the fourth quarter. Defensively, look for the Redmen to create turnovers. They had 30 turnovers already this season. Number 79, Ray Lambright, having a tremendous year. Number 47, Walter DeForest. He's the man in the middle. He makes things happen. He goes sidelines to sidelines. And number 17, Stephen Diamikis in the secondary. Those guys will make things happen today.
All right, Marty, as we take a look, of course, at the Georgetown Hoyas Club, we turn to Carl Reuter. Georgetown, under new coach Bob Benson, playing very well defensively. Surprising 3-3 record, Carl.
Well, Barry, he comes out this year, his first season at Georgetown, this Bob Benson. They come off the most impressive win last week against Catholic, pitching the shutout by the score of 10-0. They're led by their linebacker. He's a real good one. He's a sophomore, Tom Winika. Now, Winika can do it all. He was just named the MAC Defensive Player of the Week for his effort last week against Catholic. He had 11 tackles, 1 interception. Earlier today, I asked Coach Bob Benson on what Winika means to this football team.
Tommy is our starting inside linebacker. He's leading the team in tackles. He was the MAC Player of the Week. He has to have a great day if we're going to stop Russo, and we got to get him around the football.
What is the key to stopping Russo?
I don't know if you can stop him. I think you have to contain him. He's a great back. I think if he gets rolling over 100 yards, then we're going to be in trouble. We've got to try to contain him between 50 and 120 yards, and I think if we do that, we'll be in the game. He's a great back.
A great back indeed, Barry, and Anthony Russo. Number 57, Winika, has to be around the football, as Coach Bob Benson said, for Georgetown to be successful.
Well, last year, St. John's Anthony Russo rushed for 314 yards, a school record against Georgetown, and today he'll be looking to break another record as well. We'll be back with the start of today's game in just a moment. Get set for St. John's football on Sports Channel. Lions, Carl Reuter back at Keogh Field on the campus of Georgetown University. We mentioned this, an important MAC conference game. As we take a look at the standings, we see, of course, that up the top, Iona, they're playing a non-conference game against Marist today. They're 4-0, but both St. John's and Georgetown 2-1. So this one a very important game as far as the conference is concerned.
Exactly, Barry. If St. John's can win today, they can go into next week's game against Iona. It could be a showdown.
Canisius also 2-1 as well, and they're playing against Siena. Let's take a look at the series record. This is the 16th meeting between these two schools. St. John's with a 9-6 edge. The series began 15 years ago, back in 1978. And last year, as we mentioned, a wild one. 49-33, St. John's winning. And in that game, St. John's amassed 688 yards total offense, 438 yards on the ground. Georgetown led in that game, Marty, however, 13-0.
But the one thing you have to look at is Anthony Russo. He's been averaging close to 250 yards per game against his Georgetown team.
And the big question is, first-year coach Bob Benson said, we've got to try to contain him. That's an awful tough task for any defense.
Well, and he's going to try to contain him underneath 100 yards. And as you look at Russo's number, 24 out of the last 38 games, he's been over 100 yards. It's hard to do.
All right, St. John's won the toss, and they will be receiving the football. Georgetown wearing the black and white. The Hoyas with a record of 3-3, coming off a 10-0 shutout over Catholic. They're a team that relies on their special teams. They blocked 3 punts this year in their defense. Their offense really struggling with a freshman quarterback.
Well, Bob Benson said this defense, they'll bend, but they won't break. You give up a lot of yardage, but not a lot of points.
And right now, St. John's without Tom McPherson, of course. That'll be a big factor. He hurt his knee a couple of weeks ago and is out for the rest of the season. So here we go, as this line drive kick will bounce downfield. That will be taken at the 15-yard line. Returned by John Anitra as he crosses the 30 and is down at around the 31-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the St. John's Redmen, averaging 28 points a game. And let's take a look at their starting lineup. The quarterback, of course, Sean Sharkey, who's been inconsistent all year. The brilliant running back, the tailback, Anthony Russo. Art Costello will start as the fullback. Tom Gadis is replacing the injured Tom McPherson as one wide receiver, and that means a lot of pressure on Anthony Iadivio. He's sort of been the forgotten man this year to pick up the pace, Marty.
Well, the one thing about Iadivio, when he makes the catch, he'll make something positive out of those yards.
All right, Sharkey on 1st and 10. Backs are split. And he'll go to the air on the first play. Throws for the far sideline. Complete to Gadis across the 40 and driven out of bounds after a nice pickup as he was stopped on the play after picking up good yardage. Tommy Gadis out of Holy Cross High School. And you look at quarterback Sean Sharkey.
Well, the one thing about Sharkey, we said he's been inconsistent, but right there what he's going to do, he's going to find his receiver wide open. He's got to loosen up the linebackers to have Russo be very effective today.
First down as they picked up good yardage on that play. The ball up at the 42-yard line, so a pickup of about 12 on that play. Again, the backs are split, Costello and Russo. Two wide receivers. The tight end is Dan Parker. Hand off to Russo, tries to turn it outside, chased to the sidelines, and will go out of bounds. Chased out by Sam Wales, the good-looking cornerback, the 5'11", 180-pound sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi.
And right there, Georgetown defense, they are going to stretch the field. They're going to make Anthony Russo run east and west rather than north and south. There's a no-gainer right there. Excellent play by the Georgetown defense.
The defense is a 5-2. They go with Dave Politis and Brian McNulty as the ends, Enrico Mariani and Jim Klessel as the tackles, and nose guard number 97, Ryan Long. Tom Winika, 57, Alex Petrosky, the linebackers. We'll give you the secondary in a moment. On second, and let's call it about 11. Russo trying to cut up the middle, will get short yardage as he crosses the 45 to around the 47-yard line as he was brought down after a short pickup by Joe Jacobacci, the strong safety. And we'll take a look at that defense we mentioned a few moments ago. Politis is a good one, number 39. McNulty leads him on the other side as a defensive end with 4 sacks. And the linebacking crew led by Tom Winika. The secondary, Chris Fazio, has leads in interceptions with 3. And Sam Wales also a fine cornerback. Joe Jacobacci also a good, strong safety, and Mike Sedor is the free safety. Sharkey to throw, pump faking, looking for Iadivio, and Iadivio makes the catch, first down at the 41-yard line.
And right there, Sharkey makes the proper decision. Iadivio, he's double covered, he pumps it, Iadivio finds the open hole, he completes it for the big first down.
Last week, Iadivio caught one pass for 39 yards. Sharkey only threw 11 times, was 3 for 11 in the terrible weather conditions at Duquesne.
And right there, Sharkey, you see the pump is going to freeze the linebackers. There's number 25, Iadivio makes the reception. 12-yard
pickup for Iadivio. Now has caught 23 passes on the year. He was last year's leading receiver for St. John's. Gadis and Iadivio flank to the left. They'll go to Russo, trying to turn it outside. Won't get away from Tommy Winika.
Well, Winika right there is going to come up, close that corner down, and again, Russo's stopped for a no-gainer.
And this Georgetown defense does an excellent job stopping the run. 154 yards so far this year they've held opponents to.
And that's a loss of 3 right there, Barry.
Bob Ricca, 2 wins away from win number 100 in his illustrious career at St. John's. He's been there from the very day they started the football program. After that loss of about 5. Sharkey to throw, rolling right, he'll keep, and will be taken down after a short pickup. Kevin Pellegrini, number 24, the 5'11 senior from Westchester, Pennsylvania, with the tackle. And he'll set up a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and about 10 here, Marty.
But Sharkey was very fortunate not to be sacked right there. He scrambled, used his athletic ability, picks up 1 yard.
Sharkey is a good runner, and when he runs the ball effectively, St. John's usually does well. Right now, Gadis and Iadivio flanked, top of the left side of your screen. Single setback is Russo. Pump fake to Russo. Iadivio is hammered if he tried to get that ball. Hit hard by Mike Sedor, number 18. He was sandwiched right there. And the sophomore, they play 5 sophomores on this defense, really hit him hard.
Well, there's where we talk about that inconsistency with Sharkey. Right there, he's going to pump over there to Russo. Then he turns back to the blind side, throws it to Iadivio, and Iadivio's in double coverage. Very lucky he wasn't picked off.
So it'll be a punt coming up here for Joe Parker, averaging 33 yards a kick. Sedor is back to receive the kick, or check that. Back to receive the kick is Chris Fazio, number 48, standing back at around the 10. Parker drives this one downfield, and Fazio will let this one roll, and it'll die inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. What'll be 1st and 10 for the Georgetown Hoyas. So defensively, they do the job on the first series for St. John's, and they'll take over 1st and 10.
And the first series, the Redmen were not very productive.
Take a look at the starters. Bill Ring, the freshman quarterback. They'll go with Paul Uppel and Rob Scarlatta, a couple of hard-charging but not very fast backs. They've got a couple of freshmen behind them that are very fast. Paul Belkin and Jim Caesar, the wide receivers. John Dooley, good-looking big tight end. They may go to him more often today. And the offensive line, very big, very experienced. They've done a good job this year, Marty. 1st and 10 as they send Josh Mayer now in motion in the ball game. Number 4. And the freshman quarterback rolling, looking for Belkin through his hands. He should have had that one. St. John's had a defender right there, but he threw it right between his hands. Ken Forte was the defender back of him.
And it starts with time on that offensive line. Ring goes back. He's got the wide open receiver, Belkin. He's got to bring down that reception.
Bill Ring, Marty, just throwing 35% completion percentage. Last week, 6 for 16 for just 59 yards. Needs to be more consistent, but this 6'3" freshman out of the Philadelphia area has a great arm, according to Bob Benson.
Well, the one thing, Barry, if you look at the stats, he's got 6 touchdowns but 7 interceptions.
2nd and 10 at around the 11-yard line. Working out of the I formation. Now Uppel goes in motion. And they'll hand off to DeWitt, number 21. And he just gets about a yard or two, brought down by Martin Wade, playing as a linebacker. He took over for John Anicha a couple of weeks ago in the Sacred Heart game. And let's take a look at that defense. You see Al Bruno right there. He's playing very well, along with Michael Cotter, the defensive ends, Ray Lambright, Steve Dombrowski, the down tackles. DeForest leads the defense in the middle in the linebacking core. Chris Carew, Marty Wade. Secondary's been outstanding with those kids really coming on, Marty.
And you got to remember, Kurt Zitzler is out. He's been injured a couple of weeks, and if they had him back there in the secondary, that would be an added strength.
Tom Klein, the backup quarterback, has been doing a good job filling in. 3rd and 7. Ring goes to the air, and it'll be almost picked off. St. John's had a chance to pick it off. Martin Wade, the kid out of Baldwin, had a chance to pick it off right there. So Marty Wade, the senior, who went to Chaminade High School, who missed most of last year with knee surgery, should have had that one, Marty.
Well, watch number 32. He breaks on the ball. He looks like a receiver. All he has to do is catch it. And right there, he has 20 yards. He would have taken it in for a defensive score.
Now, this punt from Joe Piscatella, who's a great punter, drives O'Leary back across midfield, takes it at the 47-yard line. Trying to get away, got around one man down the sideline, and goes out of bounds. Good effort by O'Leary on the return. He's another one of these good-looking freshmen for St. John's that Bob Ricker's real pleased with. Time out of the field. Early in the first quarter, we're scoreless. You're watching St. John's football on Sports Channel.
30 yards, go just write down 30 and then put a slash and put 12. So we know it. 30-yard punt, 12-yard return.
Any stats on Russo yet?
Well, he's been shut down twice, and he's picked up. He's probably like a +1. +1 or +2.
1 yard and 3 carries.
Yeah.
And what about Sharkey? What do you got?
Sharkey's 1 for 2. For 1, 2.
Barry Landers along with Marty Lyons, Carl Reuter on the beautiful campus of Georgetown University. You know, it's interesting. The field is actually on the roof of a building, Marty, as we look out on this lovely setting here. Beautiful fall weather, except for the rain and the mist right now.
And it looks like the field's up here among the trees, Barry. It's just a gorgeous view from up here.
Sean Sharkey with his second series right now. 1st and 10, great field position as they take over inside the 40 at the 38-yard line after the fine return by John O'Leary. Handing off inside Costello, and he won't go anywhere. He got stuffed on the play that time, and he was stuffed quickly by David Politis, number 39, the senior from Holbrook, Massachusetts, 5'11", 220.
Well, the one thing Politis did right there, he squared himself up in the hole, and watch him come in. Number 39, he gets in the hole, he squares up with his opposing number 39, just puts him down for a gain of 1 yard.
Politis, their number 4 tackler. He's a big play guy. Pickup of 1 by Costello, so it's 2nd and 9. Last week, Costello rushed well against Duquesne in limited time. Backs are split, Russo and Costello. Sharkey to throw, looking for the sideline. O'Leary has it and should have enough for the first down as he goes out of bounds around the 27-yard line. Chris Fazio running him out.
And the one thing Sharkey's doing now, he's taking timing pattern. He'll take 3 steps. O'Leary's out there, enough yardage for a first down.
Well, O'Leary last week caught 2 passes for 25 yards. He's been coming on of late. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line after that 9-yard pickup. So St. John's looking to get on the board early here. They have generally been a slow starting team, but a big second quarter team. Working out of the eye. Quick pitch to Gadis, tries to get away. He does from the initial tackler and is driven down. Alex Petrosky, number 55, got him, but it looked like they had him at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to squirm free and pick up extra yardage there.
Well, one thing Bob Rick is doing, if you want to build confidence in your quarterback, do timing. Tell him to take 1 step, 3 steps back, and you've got your receivers coming off the line of scrimmage. Gadis just does an excellent job, picks up 5.
So it'll be 2nd and 3 at the 21-yard line. They give him a 7-yard pickup there. St. John's moving the ball effectively here against this bend but don't break defense of Georgetown. They've only given up 13 points a game. Sharkey going to the air again, off the hands of his intended receiver on the far side, as he was looking that time for number 23, the wide receiver out there, and that was Aaron Hatwood. He's a track star who is on a track scholarship at St. John's, getting some playing time right now. They need a speed player with McPherson out.
Well, the one thing St. John's is forced to Georgetown to do is come up, play a bump and run on the receivers. If they do that, look for number 21, Anthony Russo, thus far being held to just 1 yard to get involved in the game.
3rd and 3 for the Redmen here. And they fake to their bread and butter guy, Sharkey, being chased and brought down by Wanika. Tommy Wanika with the sack, his 3rd of the year. And this defense again comes up with a big play on 3rd down.
Well, Wanika right there. Tom Wanika, number 57, is going to shoot the gap. He's going to come on a blitz. Nobody's there to pick him up. Watch 57. There's a little stunt, delayed blitz. And look at the speed. He can close the gap. Sharkey goes down for a big sack.
Loss of 9 on the play. It's now 4th and 12. So Parker will check into the ball game once again. Joe Parker to punt. Standing back at the 41-yard line. Fazio standing back at the 10. Park will try to get this out inside the 10. I'm sure try to angle it to the sideline. John kicks it straight up. And it will bounce, and St. John's has a couple of guys downing it inside the 5 and around the 1-yard line. Tommy Gadis was there to down the punt.
And that's a smart move by Gadis. He gets himself in between the ball and the end zone and downs it. It's going to start on the 1.
So Georgetown taking over, had tough field position both times they've gotten the ball, Marty. Inside the 10 and now at the 1-yard line.
Well, the one thing you got to do, you have to have some room to operate. And right now, Rink's going to have to find some for his offense.
Well, they alternate a lot of backs in there. You saw DeWitt carry the ball earlier. They'll go with another freshman, Dan Kniff, number 30, a lot today. In fact, Kniff is in right now as the tailback as he lines up in the end zone. Now Kniff going in motion, number 30. And they'll hand off to the first man through. That was Mark Hall, number 44, the 6'1", 190-pound sophomore. And a tough kid, Martin Wade, brought him down, but he cracked right up the middle for some good yardage.
And what Hall did, he took it right up the middle. He's going to challenge Walter DeForest, leading tackler for the Redmen. He picks up 5 big ones.
Now they'll make changes. Dorian Bell checks into the ball game as a wide receiver. He was their top receiver at the beginning of the year and then hurt his ankle in the opening game against Iona. He just came back recently. He's a speedster. Number 88, he'll line up wide to the left and wide to the right. Top of your screen is Belkin. Now going in motion is DeWitt, 21. They'll stay on the ground inside, trying it again for Mark Hall. And he's brought down by Ray Lambright, the guy you were talking about at the start of the game.
Well, here's a guy that came back off an injury and had a very consistent year. He's been dominating up front. He liked the pressure. He had 4 sacks so far, and he just makes things happen. What a great leader he's been all year.
3rd and short yardage. And DeWitt will check out of the ball game. They'll go with a couple of bigger backs. It's 3rd and 2. In case you're just tuning in, 7:50 to go. Scoreless first quarter. Georgetown with the ball as they battle St. John's in a MAC conference game here. Ring to throw. Quick pitch to the sideline. Belkin has it and should have enough for the first down at the 14-yard line. Nice square out pattern to the sideline. Ken Forte ran him out, but a well-thrown ball and a good catch by Belkin.
And the one thing Belkin knows, he knows how many yards he needs for that first down. Watch it. It's going to be a down and out. Ring has plenty of time. Belkin's out there in the flats, picks up the first down.
Well, Paul Belkin, the senior from Springfield, Virginia, broke his arm in the first game last year. Was out for the whole season. They're happy to have him this year. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Ring on the pitch. This is DeWitt. Trying to turn it outside. It will be taken down by Walter DeForest, the middle linebacker, who leads this team by a huge margin in tackles, Marty. 62 solo tackles, 79 overall.
But the one thing you like about DeForest, he can go sidelines to sidelines. Right there, he starts off as the middle linebacker. He's going to pursue down, plays off an offensive lineman, and still has the ability and the speed to make the tackle.
Steve Colello, number 54, was the center trying to block him. 2-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 16-yard line. Now that's DeWitt going in motion. Ring handing off to Hall, and Hall will plow his way across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Check it, the runner was Paul Uppel. The fullback, Ray Lambright, brought him down. Short pickup for the 5'7", 215-pounder. Tough to bring down. He's a punishing fullback type runner. Not a great deal of speed, Uppel.
Well, right now Georgetown is finding the cushion in the middle. Uppel just takes it up there, and he picks up 5.
3rd and 3 from the 21, and looks like we're going to get a timeout taken here by the Hoyas of Georgetown. And their first timeout with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to go in a scoreless first quarter. Bob Rickett talking to his teammates, and on this near sideline you see, of course, the Hoya coaches. Well, Home Federal Savings is proud.
47 to 4. He's over there getting the play, getting that defensive call. But right now, Barry, you haven't seen much out of either offense. It's been a defensive game. We're early in the first quarter, but nothing's sticking out right now.
One of the keys, obviously, for the Georgetown Hoyas is to control the ball, to keep it away from St. John's, to play error-free ball. St. John's wants to create turnovers. Georgetown has started with bad field position on each of their drives, and they're trying to maintain a first down drive here in the 3rd and about 4 yards to go. Bill Ring rolling right, has a blocker. Uppel looking for Belkin. He's got Belkin complete to the sideline and driven out of bounds after he picked up the first down by Mark Bernardini.
Well, it all starts with Ring right there. He's going to roll to his right, which will give him extra time. He finds Belkin wide open again. He throws the ball. Perfect play.
Belkin, their fastest receiver, has got a good hand.
Well, we talked about the extra time. Look, the nearest defender is 5 yards away. There's a perfect pass. Belkin out there, catches it between 2 defenders, then picks up another 8 yards after he catches the ball.
So it's now 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line, a 23-yard pickup on that play as Uppel goes in motion. The pitch to DeWitt. He fumbles the football. He'll recover, still loose, and maybe St. John's has it. Well, let's wait and see. They have come up with their 31st turnover of the year, and handing the ball there in his hand, Chris Carew, number 41, clapping his hand.
Well, DeWitt's got to find the handle right there. Ring just pitches it back before you can run with it. They tell you at an early age, make sure you catch it.
Chris Carew with his 2nd fumble recovery, and that's what Bob Benson feared the most.
Well, this is what this defense is known to do. Right here, they create turnovers. DeWitt, fall on the ball. Don't try to pick it up and scramble. There's all the Redmen. They come in there. Carew recovers the fumble.
1st and 10 at the 40 for St. John's. They've had excellent field position, but have had the ball inside the 40 each of the 3 possessions. They'll go inside to Russo. Tough yardage there, but he keeps those legs churning, getting inside the 35 to the 34 before Wanika, and Ryan Long, the middle linebacker, and of course number 97, the nose guard, brought him down.
But you talked about Anthony Russo right there. He's going to bounce it up the middle, and he picks up 7 yards.
There's Mike Sedor, the good sophomore from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the number 3 tackler, who's a rangy kid and a good pass and run protector. Pick up on that last play of 7. So it's 2nd and 3. Russo 5 carries for 8 yards. They'll try Russo again. No hole there. And I'll tell you, the black shirts have him wrapped up. They're gang tackling, and they're doing a great job so far, keying on Anthony Russo. Alex Petrosky, number 55, one of the guys in there, as he gets up slowly. So Russo unable to pick up positive yardage there. Let's call it about a 1-yard pickup. Clock continues to tick. 5:15 to go in this scoreless first quarter here at Georgetown University. St. John's with the ball. 3rd and 3 from the 33, and this time they will get the first down and more. Russo to the 20-yard line.
And the difference between that play and the last play, the offensive linemen, they get the push on Georgetown's defense. They push the defensive line back into the linebacker. Anthony Russo has plenty of room to run, picks up the first down. Watch the offensive line. They explode. There's number 78, 79. They're coming off. Anthony Russo just keeps the legs moving, picks up a very important first down.
Joe Iacobacci, number 35, brought him down. Here's Russo again inside the 10-yard line with a great effort, but he's down and appears shaken up, but he gets up. There is a flag, however, on the play. A penalty marker, our first one. And referee James Slavey will let us know what the call is.
And anytime you get it from that official, Barry, the umpire is going to be holding on the offensive lineman 99% of the time.
Holding. White. Still first down.
So that run by Russo negated on the holding penalty. And they'll bring it back to the 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 20. St. John's has moved the football on their first 2 drives, but unable to get any points out of it. There's Bob Ricca, Ray Lambright on the sideline, and Sean Sharkey, the senior out of Valley Stream, is only completing about 36% of his passes this year. Back to throw, Sharkey throwing up the middle, and the receiver could not hold on. Dan Parker, Alex Petrosky on the coverage.
Well, Petrosky right there comes in. Sharkey goes back, has plenty of time. Perfect throw, but just a great defensive play.
Parker is a guy they've got to get into the offense more, especially with McPherson out of the lineup. He's a good receiver, but they haven't thrown to him very often. He's made only 10 catches this year, 1 for a touchdown. That was in the opening game of the year against it'll be 2nd and 20 right now. Again inside Russo, big hole. Russo hit and fumbles the football. It's loose. He was hit by Mike Cedar, and the Georgetown Hoyers have recovered. Something you don't see Anthony Russo do very often, off the football up, but he did so right there. And number 39, David Politis, who had a sack earlier, comes up with the fumble recovery.
Well, Anthony Russo explodes through the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up 15 yards, but number 18, Mike Cedar, watch him come up. This is why he's number 3 in the team in tackles. Right there, great hit. Hits the ball, Russo fumbles, another turnover.
So the Hoyas come up with their 6th fumble recovery, their 15th turnover of the year. They're a +4 in that department. And right now, Bill Ring gets it back for his club in this scoreless game. Uppel going in motion from the 21-yard line. Ring back to throw, plenty of time. Looking for Uppel, bounces off of his chest. Incomplete. DeForest and Carew were all over him. And that will set up a 2nd and 10 play.
And the one thing Ring has to realize, you have a strong arm. Your receiver's only 10 yards away. You can't drill the ball in every time. Right there, Uppel should make the reception, but the ball is thrown so hard it goes up in the air. A chance for the Redmen to make the interception. It falls to the ground.
Ring so far in the afternoon, 2 for 5 for 29 yards. The offense getting a discussion going on right there. And right now, Ring, as we handing off inside, this is Mark Hall, the big running back. And Hall blasts his way across the 25 up to about the 29-yard line. Mark Bernardini brought him down.
And very close to another first down. Very, very close. Right there, he explodes. The one thing that he does, as soon as Hall gets to the line of scrimmage, he's going to switch the ball over. He's not going to take a chance of another fumble. Right now, it's 3rd and 2.
And they'll bring Josh Mayer out of the ball game, put in another big back. As they continue to substitute a lot. Bob Benson said, we're not going to be predictable. We're going to show a lot of different things. We'll be a multiple offense. We're going to be fun to watch on both offense and defense. Now they go with a full house backfield on 3rd and short yardage. They try to turn it outside with Kniff. And Kniff stopped shy of the first down by Chris Carew.
And you're talking about closing the gap, number 41. Right there, he closes it quick. Puts the Georgetown Hoyas in the 4th and 1. They're going to have to punt the ball.
So both teams' defense is the story here. St. John's has moved the ball, has had the better field position. Georgetown has not gotten the ball past the 35-yard line. And now they'll try another punt. Piscatella, who has had 12 punts twice this year, punting for the 2nd time here. And O'Leary will take it at the 29-yard line. Had a good return earlier. O'Leary at the 30, 35, and brings it back to the 44-yard line.
And O'Leary picks up 14 yards, gets it close to the 45-yard line. Now, St. John's offense, they have to get something going, Barry. Right now, they've been stifled.
Let's go down to the field right now and join Carl Reuter.
Well, Barry, looking at Mr. Animation, Bob Benson, the coach of Georgetown, following the last defensive stand, he came over, talked to his team. He said, when you go back on the field, he said, I like exactly what we're doing. They're playing right into our hands. One thing he isn't happy with is the way that they're wrapping up. He says, we got to get a little bit better job on the tackling end of it.
All right, thank you, Carl. 14-yard return on that 41-yard punt. Russo nowhere to go again. Stopped by Tommy Wanika, the kid from Mount Senior Faro High School in Staten Island. So he knows a lot of these guys from playing Catholic high school football in New York City.
And it looks like Wanika's almost man for man on Anthony Russo. He takes him right down the line of scrimmage, and Anthony Russo held to a short gain of 1 yard.
A positive 1-yard pickup, 2nd and 9 from the 45-yard line. So Georgetown, after last year giving up 314 yards to Anthony Russo, doing quite a job this year against him. He's the single setback in this formation. Russo to throw forward. Gadis over his head. The flag thrown on the play. Sam Wales, the defender. And let's see if there's going to be a pass interference call.
Well, Sam Wales comes in there, hits the receiver a little bit early. It's all going to be decided whether the receiver should have caught the ball.
We'll find out.
And they're going to rule, Barry, that was an uncatchable ball. Right there, no penalty.
James Slavey making the call. James Douglas is the umpire. Headlinesman Donald Matee, the line judge Wayne Randall, the back judge Patrick Yo, and the field judge Ben Vascons. So here we go right now on 3rd and long yardage for Sharkey. Plenty of time, looking deep for Aaron Hatwood. He's got his man beat, but the pass overthrown.
And that's not Sharkey's fault right there. Hatwood, he's got the defender beat, and he stops. He's going to wait on the ball. All you got to do is keep stride, make sure Sean Sharkey can throw it to you, and it's an easy 7. There's a perfect example of the receiver making the quarterback look bad.
Inexperience, perhaps, on the part of Hatwood, who has just started to play football. I mentioned he's on a track scholarship. Young man from Half Hollow Hills High School West. That's my home high school out on Long Island. Just could not get that football. So Parker to punt again in this punting duel here in the first quarter. Standing back inside the 35. About 2 minutes to go. He gets rushed. High kick. Fazio calling for the fair catch. Will get it at around the 33-yard line. So this is the best field position that the Hoyas have had starting on a 1st and 10, Marty.
And only a 22-yard punt, Barry. But the Hoyas right here, there's been very little offense either way. You've got to get some momentum going if you're going to win this game. St. John's offense, they've got to go over and make some adjustment. They've got to get Anthony Russo. They've got to get the big guys up front, getting the holes. Anthony Russo is the whole key of winning and losing here.
Listen, fellas, if we're with our rushing forward, we're getting no one on him. Can we pass rush these people or not? Yeah. Huh?
And you see Bob Benson here. He's going to make some adjustment talking to his offense.
Good looking run, spinning for extra yardage, Rob Scarlatta. And he'll pick up just about enough for a 1st down. That's the first time they've really picked up a lot of yardage on 1st down. Martin Wade brought him down, but Scarlatta, a local product out of West Nyack, New York, up in the Westchester area, out of St. Joseph's Regional High School. Led the team in rushing last year, picked up 11 yards on that play, Marty.
And Georgetown continues to pound the ball, tackle to tackle, right there, picking up 11 yards.
They'll work out of the I formation. Uppel is the fullback. Scarlatta, the tailback. Ring's pass batted in the air by Lambright. Ring catches it and is tackled by Lambright. How about that play?
Well, Lambright right there gets excellent penetration. Ring goes back, Lambright hits it, Ring catches it, a loss of 5.
Good presence of mind by both the quarterback catching the ball and Ray Lambright for making the tackle.
Well, I think if you're the quarterback right there, you just want to knock it to the ground. You don't want to take a loss of 5 yards. Look at number 79. We talked, he's having a big year. Let the ball fall to the ground. You go back up. Now it's 2nd and 10. But now you're in a 2nd and 15 situation.
So Ring now with St. John showing a 4-man front. Nobody behind him. He's got everybody out wide. No blockers, but he has protection. Looking for Uppel, and again for the 2nd time, it bounced off his chest, and it goes incomplete.
Well, Uppel, he doesn't have those soft dishpan hands right there. You've got to make that reception.
He's caught 4 passes this year for 26 yards. Known as an excellent blocker. Boy, he's built like a bulldog. 5'7", 215, my kind of size, Marty.
A little bit taller than you, Barry.
Not
about
too
the
much.
Same weight, though.
After last night's dinner, perhaps. 3rd and 16 coming up for the Hoyas. We're under a minute to go, as you see, 45 seconds to go in this first quarter. Last year, these two teams scored 82 points. Now, little play action, Ring with time. Now throwing deep up the middle for Belkin. He's out there, and he's got it. Klein drags him down inside the 5-yard line.
Well, Ring, what a perfect throw. You got the time, you got a receiver. He's behind the secondary. Belkin's got excellent speed, gets behind the secondary. Fastest guy on the team, makes a great reception of 58 yards. Watch Ring, plenty of time. Nobody's rushing him. Here's Belkin, he splits the defender, he picks it up, he takes it all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
Then Tom Klein just able to grab onto his jersey and bring him down with the nose of the football just inside the 5. A 58-yard pass play for the freshman quarterback, Bill Ring. You saw the arm he's got there. He does have a strong arm.
Well, the one thing, you have the time.
Now they stay on the ground as they go inside, looking for yardage. Mark Hall, number 44 on the carry. And that will probably be the last play of the first quarter. As time is about to run out here, no time left on the clock. And the Hoyas, these young kids under Bob Benson, taking on St. John's. And when we return, they'll have a goal-to-go situation. After one quarter, we're scoreless. Something to cheer about, that 58-yard pass, Bill Ring to Paul Belkins, setting up the goal-to-go situation. This has not been a good place for St. John's to play in. 7 previous meetings, they've lost 5 out of 7. They lost 2 years ago. Their last win came in '89 here. Now Bill Ring with a powerhouse backfield. And they go on the option to Ring. He dives for the end zone. Did he get in? No, at the 1-yard line, he's down on the option. Ring is brought down by Chris Carew, just shy of the goal line.
Well, the one thing there, Barry, you have a quarterback. He has a triple option. Give it to the fullback, take it himself, or pitch it to the halfback. Right there, he takes it very close to being a touchdown. Right here, he fakes to the fullback. Here he is. He's going to come around the corner. Number 41, Chris Carew. He's been in a lot of plays right there. Stop him from the touchdown.
Dan Knapp, the freshman from Fordham Prep High School in the Bronx, is checked into the ball game. Number 30 as a running back. He's in there with Uppel. Straight ahead. Ring looking for the touchdown. Did he get in? Yes, he did.
Well, you're talking about 6 inches. You got to tell your lineman, go down. I'm going to come over the top right there. Bill Ring takes it in for a big score.
So Bill Ring engineers the drive downfield, and the Hoyas, just as they did last year, score first. They led 13-0 last year before St. John's came back with 30 straight points. And they score here to take a 6-0 lead early in the second quarter.
And a game of big plays. You got to remember the reception. Bill Ring to Paul Belkins for 58 yards. Brought him down with inside the 5. Ring finished him off with a 1-yard run.
Brendan Gahn, number 6, will attempt the extra point. He's been outstanding this year, 11 for 11. And the left-footed kick is up, and it is perfect. So the Redmen find themselves down 7-0 early in the first minute of this second quarter. 8 plays and 68 yards for the touchdown march. And the Hoyas, who don't score a whole lot, take the lead here 7-0.
And Bill Ring is taking control of the game, and it's still early, but watch him. He's going to go up over the top. There's number 47, DeForest. He can't stop him. Bill Ring, 6'3", 180-pound freshman, playing with some great leadership so far, Barry. There's that push. You're getting that push by the offensive lineman. DeForest just a little bit late, but they got the surge. It's in for a score.
The offensive line, according to Bob Benson, has done a real fine job. It's been the inconsistency of Bill Ring, and they opened up some holes. They've given him consistent pass blocking. He's only had, 6 sacks all year as far as the offensive line has been concerned. That scoring summary for you, and it's a big play, 68-yard drive, capped, of course, on the 1-yard touchdown sneak by quarterback Bill Ring. And it goes some 8 plays for those 68 yards. So here we go now. Let's see what St. John's answers with. As the kick by Gahn, the left-footed kicker, will come downfield, and it sails to the 23-yard line. And Nietzsche again on the return, and he will get across the 35, and that'll be it to the 36-yard line. And once again, St. John's will have good field position, but they have been unable to really sustain a drive. They had a fumble. Anthony Russo fumbled early. They had a holding penalty inside the 10. Let's see if they can do something here.
Well, the one thing Bob Ricka has to tell his squad, hey, guys, we can't look past Georgetown and look forward to the Iona game. If they don't win the game today, there's no importance next week against Iona. Iona will win the MAC conference.
Now, there was some concern that perhaps they would be a little flat against this Georgetown team after the big win at Duquesne last week. Play action fake by Sharkey, throwing on the run for Gadis, and he wisely threw it away. There were 2 defenders in the area. Mike Sedor, number 18, was defending on the corner, and Sharkey getting up slowly. He got belted after he got that pass off.
But again, there's a situation between the quarterback and the receiver. Sharkey goes back, he pumps. Ganesh turns around. It should be a down and up. Ganesh just stays there. You can't blame that on the quarterback. You can't blame it on the receiver. Just a lack of communication. Somebody was wrong right there. You'll blame it on the quarterback.
Now St. John's goes with a single setback. That's Russo, 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line. Hands off to Russo, and Russo trying to split between the tackle and guard, stopped by the linebacker, the freshman Alex Petrosky, number 55, 6'3", 185 pound wiry kid. They say once this kid puts some weight on, he's going to be outstanding.
And you talk about Petrosky, 6'3", 185. He's from Largo, Florida, a long way from home, but was my next door neighbor from St. Petersburg.
You know, Marty, one of the things at a school like Georgetown that has dorms, great academic reputation, you could recruit from all over the country. And now we do have a penalty call.
Defense in a neutral zone at the snap. Repeat second down.
Now that hurts Georgetown after a fine defensive play. And it looked like it was Jim Klessel, number 99, the tackle, who was the guilty party. But again, getting back to that point, Georgetown with a great academic reputation throughout the nation, they can recruit kids who are at this level to play here. So now it is first to make that 2nd and 5 from the 41. Working from the I formation. Russo tries the right side. Will not get the first down. Picked up about 4 on the play as he was brought down by Jim Klessel, number 99. 6'4", 220-pound junior from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right across from Philadelphia. He's the best of the 3 interior linemen. Very quick, good pass rusher. MAC Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago against Johns Hopkins. 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 1 from the 45-yard line. Russo tries for the first down, tripped up close. He had to get only 1, but he was tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage by Enrico Mariani and Dave Paulides on that same side. Not been an easy game for Anthony Russo. Very durable kid. And we're delighted to announce for the first time, Marty, that he has received a special award, and we'll mention it in just a moment.
Well, watch the penetration by Georgetown. Here's Anthony Russo. He goes up. There's nowhere to go. Actually runs over his offensive lineman. But Anthony Russo being held in that first quarter, Barry, 9 rushes for 37 yards, way under his numbers.
No question about it. They'll bring the chains in. But Russo honored in the announcement coming today from the National Collegiate Football Hall of Fame and Foundation as one of the 15 scholar athletes in the entire nation. As you see, the Redmen pick up the first down.
Watch Russo again. We're talking about how durable he is. He's going to do a flip, land on that head. But watch, boom. He'll get back up, and he's back in the huddle.
This young man who has a 3.5 average in history, one of the 15 in the nation awarded a scholar athlete scholarship. And he will receive that at the Waldorf Astoria coming up in December, when they also induct 10 people into the Collegiate Hall of Fame. So congratulations to a fine young man, both in the classroom and obviously on the football.
And also congratulations to his family for stressing the importance to education. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. St. John's trailing 7-0. And this time they go inside. A short pickup of maybe 2 yards. Charlie Broadway had reported into the ball game for Anthony Russo. And they'll pick up maybe a yard or so as he was brought down by Ryan Long, number 97, the nose guard. And there's Bob Benson. He has to be happy with the way his squad is playing. They're playing a lot of emotion, very intense, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage. And that's what he said. Hey, all I can do is ask my boys to play hard.
2nd and 8 at the 48 is Russo, but a very durable young man back in the lineup. Sharkey rolling right, gets a good block from Russo. On the run, he'll keep it, pick up the first down as he dives, and picks up the first down at the 41-yard line.
And that's what you want from your quarterback, to have the awareness that there's no receivers open, pick up something positive. Sharkey right there. He tucks the ball down, gets a great block by Anthony Russo, picks up the first down. There's Sharkey right there. He makes the commitment. He's going to pump, but he's well over the line of scrimmage, picks up a first down.
11-yard run for Sharkey, so he's run the ball effectively on 2 occasions. Sharkey 3 for 10 as far as now the handoff to Russo. Russo tries the left side, but again stopped after a very short pickup, 2-yard pickup perhaps, as Enrico Mariani, number 52, the sophomore out of Stepanek High School in White Plains, brought him down.
Well, Mariani right there, he's going to play down the line of scrimmage. They're doing an excellent job. Bob Benson said, we may not be able to stop Anthony Russo. All we want to do is contain him. Thus far, they're doing it.
3rd and 8 from the 49-yard line. This is a team that does very well. Check that 2nd and 8. This is a team that does very well in 3rd down situations defensively. I'll tell you the number in a moment. Russo, the single setback. 3 wide receivers. Sharkey looking for Cadiz, and it's tipped and incomplete. Pellegrini, number 24, deflecting that ball. It was intended for Cadiz along the near sideline. That'll set up a 3rd and 8.
Again, a lack of communication. You have your quarterback, Sharkey goes back. He's looking for the receiver to break inside. Cadiz breaks outside. The ball hits him in the hand. Incompletion.
We mentioned Sharkey's poor percentage. He was 3 for 11 last week. He's 4 for 10 this week for 33 yards. So he's just not shown the consistency he showed late last year, Marty, and had a great game against Georgetown.
Well, the one thing, Barry, you're always blaming the quarterback, but the situation has to be on the receivers, too. He can't help the receivers make the reception. Right there, Iadivio's out there in the flats. He's going to pick up the first down. Sharkey delivers the ball, but it's incompleted.
So once again, another punt coming up for Parker. And the Redmond offense stalling against this Georgetown defense. Georgetown has held teams in 3rd down this year to only 22% conversion, Marty. That's quite a figure. As now Parker will be doing the punting from around midfield. Fazio is back to receive the kick. And they try a fake that time on the... See if they're able to pick it up. No. Let's see confusion reigning here, Marty.
And the one thing that's going to happen right there, if the ball is snapped, it goes back. They're going to try to do a fake right there. You got to fake it 4th and 8. That's a hard 8 yards to pick up.
Yeah, we'll wait for the officials to sort things out here. James Slavey and his fine crew. Play is stopped right now with 11 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Legal procedure against the defense. Now they'll pick up 5 yards. It'll still leave him with about 4th and 3. An interesting decision here for Bob Ricca. But it appears that they're going to keep the kicking team on. So 4th and 3 coming up from the 34. Now Bob Ricca may say, hey, I want to talk things over. This is a makeable play here. My offense should be able to pick up 3 or 4 yards.
Well, you see Bob Ricca over there talking to Sharkey right there, and you have a running back like Anthony Russo. Look for him to catch it, but let's go to a break.
Timeout on the field with St. John's trailing 7-0. We'll be right back. Marty, as they have sent in the offensive unit on 4th and about 3, Bob Ricca looking to pick up the first down and try to tie up the ball game.
Well, the one thing Bob Ricca knows, he knows how important this game is. If they pick up the first down, it should give confidence to his offense. They haven't done too well thus far in the game. They have to start building some momentum.
Well, they've stopped Anthony Russo, and Sharkey has not passed well. Sharkey 4 passes for 11 attempts for 33 yards. And Russo has not done well. Sharkey has run the ball 5 times.
And you see the officials talking to the head coach, Benson, Bob Benson, right there. Bob Benson, he's only 29 years old. He's done a lot of enthusiasm, and that's the way you coach this kid. You want the kids to go out there and have fun, play hard, but you want them to win.
He's the youngest coach right now in collegiate football. Took over the program in May. Didn't have a chance to do much recruiting. Now the officials, you see the referee talking, of course, to Bob Ricca, James Slavey. Bob Bender was a defensive coordinator his entire career. Came over from Johns Hopkins, where he was the defensive coordinator there for 2 years. A graduate of the University of Vermont, where he played as a wide receiver. So here we go on a big 4th down play. St. John's trailing 7-0. And it's 4th and 3 as Iadivio lines up wide to the right. Tight formation with double tight ends in here. Sharkey on a long count here. Goes to Russo. Russo pushing forward and appears to have the first down. He has it as he goes to the 30-yard line. Good surge by the offensive line, pushing back the defense there. And behind Russo, they pick up the first down.
Well, that's just second effort by number 21, Anthony Russo. He stays low to the ground and watch the leg drive right here. He's going to get hit, and he just pushes the pile, picks up the first down.
4-yard pickup. It's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll try Russo again. Dives to about the 26. Submarined over there by Enrico Mariani. Very strong, intense young man. He was very good against the run out of White Plains. There's Anthony Russo from Plain Edge High School on Long Island. They call him the Scooter. Wants to be a teacher and give back to the kids, something that he certainly has had. Very fine education. 2nd and 6 from the 26. Russo cutting back close to the first down at the 20-yard line. Joe Iacobacci, number 35, the sophomore, from Florida brought him down. Strong safety. There's a look at Yakabachi. Plays both the pass and the run very well. Very physical kid. So it's 3rd and 1. They spotted at the 21-yard line. Another big 3rd down play for the Redmen here. They stay on the ground. Russo tripped up but fell forward inside the 20. Tommy Wanika getting in quickly, submarining him and forcing Russo to go head over heels. Let's see where they mark that ball. It looks like it's going to be maybe an inch or two shy. It's going to be 4th and about a couple of inches, Marty.
Well, now we're seeing St. John's get into a pattern. Russo. Now we're down to a 4th and 1. Look for Russo to get the ball again.
Gadis will line up at the top of your screen, wide to the right, single coverage against Fazio. Russo trying to cut back, dives and has the first down. He slipped inside the tackler. Number 47, that was Brian McNulty. And a good bit of athletic ability to slice in there, as McNulty had a good angle on him, but Russo just darted by him and able to slide and pick up the first down.
Well, you talked about athletic ability, but Russo has great vision right there. He slides in between the 2 defenders, keeps the drive alive, and another first down, and his 5th carry in a row. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. St. John's trailing 7-0. Second quarter here at Georgetown University. Sharkey to throw, looking for the sideline for Gadis. Sharkey went down and threw it to the near sideline. Gadis covered by Fazio, but not a good pass. Just poor timing right there. Gadis is going to run it down and out. Sharkey goes back. The pass is 3 yards away from the receiver.
Well, Wanika, they're having an awful trouble containing him, Marty.
Well, he's got such great speed and the great instinct for the ball. There's Wanika. He's coming in. Just gets up. Sharkey, a poorly thrown ball.
He jumped over Frank Locasio, number 58, who's been moved to left tackle. 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line. Sharkey dropping straight back, in trouble, scrambling. Throws the ball, almost intercepted. He had a man wrapped up around him. I think it was Ryan Long had him wrapped up. McNulty was there as well, number 47, and almost picking that ball off. Upset with himself, number 52, Enrico Mariani.
But one thing you want to tell your quarterback, if you're going to be sacked, take the sack, take the loss. Just don't throw the ball up for grabs. Right there, Sharkey goes back. McNulty all over him. Take the sack. Instead, Sharkey throws it up and was very lucky it wasn't intercepted.
At times, Sharkey's made poor decisions as a quarterback. Now facing a 3rd and long situation here. Throwing deep for the end zone, and it's over the head of O'Leary. Back to defend was Yakabachi. And that'll set up a 4th down and a possible field goal attempt here for John Ledwith, who's come out of the ball game, number 44. Ledwith 3 for 3 in extra points last week, 2 for 3 in field goals. He and Steve Diamikis have been sharing the kicking duties. And this one will come from the 26-yard line, so about a 36-yard kick for John Ledwith. The ball down, it is up, and it is no good. Georgetown remains in front by a score of 7-0. Certainly a makeable field goal for Ledwith. And this high-powered St. John's offense, which had 37 points last week, having a tough time against this very stingy Georgetown defense, which is only giving up 13 points a game, one of the tops in the country, and they're about 8th in the country defensively.
And the one thing you're seeing with the Georgetown defense, they're playing as a unit. There's not just one guy as a standout making the tackles. There's 2 and 3 guys on every time Russo's carrying the ball.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Scarlatta going in motion. Uppel, a single setback. Handoff to Uppel, right up the middle. Big hole, and the bruising fullback tries to get the first down and may have it as he gets to the 30-yard line. Mark Bernardini, the free safety, stopped him, but Uppel, like a little freight train, turned loose there, was running up the middle.
You're talking about a cushion. Watch him. Watch Uppel. He's only 5'7", 215 pounds, like the little engine that I could. Bernardini, number 28, got to come in and take down the load. 2nd and 1. Picks up 9.
Got a good block that time from Derek DeBacher. Now Belkin comes out wide to the right bottom of your screen, lined up against Klein. Remember, he burned him earlier. And DeWitt going in motion to the near side. They'll stay on the ground, and it'll be a short pickup by Mark Hall as he gets the first down. That's all they needed. They'll pick up the yardage to give him a first down. They move the chains. And Georgetown leading 7-0 as we are approaching the halfway mark in the second quarter. Jeremy Walsh is checked into the ball game, number 65 for St. John's as a defensive end.
The one thing you have to like about Georgetown, they're very disciplined. They're in no hurry. They're just being very basic. They're going to run it tackle to tackle.
Belkin hit as he tried to get that ball by Ken Forte, the good-looking freshman from upstate New York who leads the Redmen with 5 interceptions. Jimmy Caesar, the intended receiver on the far side. And now they'll make some changes. Belkin checking into the ball game. Wholesale changes being made by Georgetown. Also checking in Mike Fraticangelli, number 23. Fraticangelli going in motion. Plenty of time looking for the big tight end. He was out there, big number 89, John Dooley. As he reached with the left hand, the pass just dropped over his outstretched hand, but he was open. And, you know, big plays have hurt St. John's at times this year, Marty.
But again, Barry, there's a situation where the receiver has to keep running. There's Dooley, number 89. He stops for a moment. Right there, he's behind the defender. Would have been an easy score. He's got to keep running. Diamikis would have been burnt.
Now, you saw number 17 in your picture. He was trailing Dooley there. So it'll be 3rd and 10 at the 31-yard line. 58-yard pass play has set up the only score in this game, a 1-yard plunge by the quarterback. Send the man in motion, Scarlata. Ring rolling light, looking, throwing complete upfield. This time Dooley makes the catch, has the first down, up at the 47-yard line, brought down by Ken Forte.
And the one thing I like about Georgetown, right now, they're giving Ring plenty of opportunities to throw. He's not a drop-back quarterback. He's going to roll out. Look at Dooley coming across the field. Excellent reception. Forte there to make the tackle, but not until Dooley picks up 16 yards.
16-yard pickup, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Georgetown on the drive here. This is what they wanted to do. Ball control, keep the ball out of the hands of St. John's. Ring 5 for 17 for 97 yards. This is DeWitt, breaks 1 tackle and picks up about 7 yards before Walter DeForest tackled him.
But the one thing Georgetown is doing, Barry, right now, they're just eating up the field. You're getting down to a 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3 situation right there. DeWitt picks up 7, puts Georgetown's offense in a 2nd and 3 situation.
And remember, this is a Georgetown offense that only averages 260 yards a game. They've only passed for about 88 yards a game, and they've rushed the ball for about 172 yards a game. They're doing a good job here against St. John's. Fraticangelli trying to pick up the first down, and he stopped close to the first down by Al Bruno, number 68, a 260-pound senior from Xavier High School in Brooklyn. He played very hard this year and leads the down lineman in tackles.
But anytime you have your offense with a 3rd and 1, you should hope 7, 8 out of 10 times your offense can pick up 1 yard right here at Georgetown in a 3rd and 1 situation.
3rd and 1 from the 43-yard line. Fraticangelli single back. Ring fumbles the ball loose, and Anitra has come up with it for St. John.
There's the big play. Ring, not used to running it up the middle. He gets popped. I believe it was number 47, Walter DeForest, comes in there, lays the wood to him. Ring fumbles, a major turnover.
And Anitra comes up with the ball. The 2nd fumble recovery for the Redmen. Their 32nd takeaway this year.
There it is, right there. It is number 47. When you run against Walter DeForest, you better put the ball away.
Well,
watch 47. He's going to close right there. He sees it, knocks the ball out. Ring would have had enough for a first down. Instead, it's a turnover.
16th fumble recovery for the alert Redmond defense. They go to Russo, no hold, tries to fight forward for a couple of yards before he is brought down after a short pickup on the play by Brian McNulty. Russo's had to fight for every yard he's made today, Marty.
Well, the one thing we're seeing Russo do, he's taking it tackle to tackle. He can't get outside the Georgetown. They're just pursuing too well.
3-yard pickup for Russo, so it'll be 2nd and 7 at the 49-yard line. 18 carries for 64 yards. Russo needed 253 yards to break Joe Dudek's record, former Plymouth State star. Russo tries again, tries to cut up the middle, short yardage once again as he gets to the 45-yard line. Brought down again by Brian McDulty, the senior from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, who's the leading sack man.
And we should mention that St. John's is playing without their wide receiver, Tommy McPherson, a great wide receiver. He's out with a knee injury.
That really hurts. He had 33 catches for 563 yards and 9 touchdowns. He was their deep threat guy. That's what they hoped that Aaron Hatwood, the track star, will develop into. 3rd and 2 at the 44 for the Redmen. Clock is ticking, 4:30 to go. Sharkey looking to go to the air, throws. It'll be picked off on the far sideline by Joe Iacobacci, number 35. The interception thrown by Sharkey, and it's 1st and 10 for the Hoyas as they come back with another turnover.
Iacobacci right there in the flat. You see Sharkey, he's going to get pressure up front. Look at the pressure. Sharkey's going to try to roll. Here comes 99 all over Iacobacci right there. Ball's underthrown. Another turnover, Barry. Back-to-back turnovers.
Iacobacci had an interception last week. This defense continues to shine. That's the 10th interception they've had this year. And to go along with 6 fumble recoveries. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's the pitch back, trying to turn it outside and pick up some yardage. Was number 30, Dan Kniff. Check that, it was Rob Scarlatta, number 20. And Scarlatta brought down after he picked up about 5 yards, but another good 1st down play. Let's join the huddle of Bob Benson here.
Well, Bob Benson has to be pleased with his defense. Right there, creating another turnover, excellent field position. And the one thing you see Georgetown doing, they're rotating, they're keeping fresh running backs in the game.
2nd and 5 after that 5-yard pickup. DeWitt, who has good speed, got away from Bruno, and then brought down after he picked up some short yardage by Chris Carew. Bruno had a chance to wrap him up at the line of scrimmage, but he slipped out of the tackle. So the clock continues to tick, and Georgetown's got to like that. A surprising 7-0 lead. They come off a shutout last week against Catholic. This team has played very well defensively all year. They've been in every game there. Losses to Iona. Iona pulled it out in the 4th quarter in the closing 2 minutes. Johns Hopkins beat them by 2. And another one of their losses. In motion, Scarlatta. Play action fake to Uppel. On the run, throwing the tight end Dooley at the 40-yard line once again. Boy, what a big target at 6'3", 215. Who was the number 2 receiver last year. Hasn't been used that much, Marty. Had only 3 catches before today, and he's caught a couple already
But when you have the quarterback that has the mobility, that has the strength in his arm to throw on the run, it's just an added plus to the offense. There it is, ring to Dooley, a big pickup.
Now this kid gaining confidence. His numbers don't tell the story during the regular season so far, picking up 16 yards on that play. It's 1st and 10 at the 41. Has tremendous potential. Here's the pitch. This time it is Kniff trying the left side of the line. And John Anitra, or rather check it, Marty Wade, coming up quickly for the tackle. Marty Wade has played well today. Started the last 3 games. He and Anitra splitting time at the outside linebacker spot. No gain on that last play. 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. Jim Caesar checks into the ball game. Paul Belkin leaves. I'll tell you, look at Bob Benson. He's got people moving in and out. Very interesting. They run a lot of people into the game.
And what you're doing is you're keeping fresh legs in the game, and you're going to try to wear down this St. John's defense.
Now that's Josh Mayer, number 4, going in motion. Ring rolling right, looking. Looks for this near sideline, incomplete. Ken Forte breaking up the pass. Intended on the near side for Dorian Bell, number 88. First time they've thrown to the speedy Bell, the sophomore.
Well, here, Ring's going to throw on the run. He's going to sidearm it in there. Forte, excellent job to break it up.
I'll tell you, he really stretches the field. You've got to have linemen that have some speed, Marty, to run with it.
Well, when you have a quarterback like Bill Ring, he's got good size. He's 6'3", 180, but the mobility, you're going to stretch the defensive line of scrimmage. You're going to stretch the defensive lineman, and you're going to wear them out.
3rd and 10 from the 41. Ring with good protection. Throwing, sideline pattern. It'll be short of the 1st down, complete to Josh Mayer. It'll be short by a couple of yards. Mayer, sophomore from Lafayette, California, who came in tied as the leading receiver with Paul Belkin with 11 catches. 8-yard pickup they will go for here on 4th and 2 at the 33-yard line. Clock is ticking. 1:24 to go in this first half. Coming up at halftime, a special feature on the St. John's basketball program. Brian Mahoney will be our special feature as the Redmen get ready to open up in just a couple of weeks in the preseason NIT against Townsend State. Hubbell trying for the first down. Looked like he got stopped by Walter DeForest, who got good penetration. And the Redmen have apparently stopped him. They have. Can't fault the defense of St. John's today. It's been the offense that has not produced, and they'll get the ball back here with about 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. Bob Benson's his boy. I'd love to pick up that first down.
Well, Bob Benson was gambling right there. If you pick it up, you keep the momentum. Why try to punt the ball unless you're going to try to bury them deep inside the 10-yard line? Now, St. John's, they have their work cut out to get something out of this first half.
Well, they got a long way to go for the touchdown. They start 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Backs are split. Sharkey has struggled in the air, going deep. He's looking for Hatwood. Collision that time, but they'll rule no pass interference as he collided with Sam Wales. It was an uncatchable ball, and it'll be a 2nd and 10.
Well, we can say what we want about Sean Sharkey, but right now there's no relationship between the quarterback and his receiver. Just missed timing right there. Sharkey throws the ball. It's 10 yards over the head of the nearest receiver. Sharkey right now 4 of 16 for 33 yards and 1 interception.
And it's more than missing Tom McPherson, who was his #1 receiver. 2nd and long yardage. Sharkey going up the middle, split the defenders there, but it goes incomplete at the 49-yard line. Dan Parker was the man who appeared to have it for a second, but he could not hold on. Tommy Wanika get in the middle of things.
But again, we say that's Sharkey's fault, but Parker, number 81, he's got it. It hits him in the breadbasket. It's going to go down as an incompletion. It's going to go down as looking bad for the quarterback, but that's Parker's fault right there. Number 81, he's got to make that reception right in the breadbasket.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 at the 33-yard line for the Redmen. Under a minute to go here in this first half. Sharkey looking deep, way overthrown, and the closest to the ball was Wales. O'Leary and Gadis, again, no relationship with the receivers there. And St. John's 3 and out right now. They'll have to punt it with just some 48 seconds or so to go here in the first half.
3 and out, Barry, and they didn't pick up any positive yard. It's still 4th and 10.
Why not try to get Russo the ball? Short pass in the flats, let him run.
Well, Russo's been your offense this far in the season. I mean, you might as well go to him. He's the go-ahead guy.
Give credit to this Georgetown defense. They have been outstanding. They stopped Anthony Russo in this first half. Parker gets a big rush, just gets it away. Wanika almost blocked that kick. Cadiz will watch the ball die as it sails inside the 50 at the 44-yard line. Will be blown dead. Boy, if you're Bob Benson and the Hoya fans, last year you gave up 49 points to this football team. You're shutting them out here. 2 consecutive shutouts last week against Catholic, now against this high-powered offense. You got to be pleased.
And the thing about it, Barry, that's only a 23-yard punt. And Bob Benson and the Hoyas, they've got their look up. There's 33 seconds left on the clock. You're only 55 yards away from the end zone. Why not? Let's take a chance.
Hey, this kid has the strong arm, as we've seen it already on that 58-yard completion he threw.
And remember, Georgetown will get the ball opening the second half also. So now if they can put some points on the board, the Redmen are digging themselves in the hole.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Ring with time, looking for the sideline, threw that away. The intended receiver, Dooley, was well covered. They're going to pay special attention to that big tight end. Clock is stopped with 27 seconds to go in the first half. By the way, congratulations to St. John's outstanding soccer team in the Big East semifinals today up at Seton Hall University. They had a tough time beating Villanova 6-4. They had to go to overtime to win it, but they advanced to the finals tomorrow. St. John's under Coach Mazur having just a tremendous season. Ranked right in the top 5 in the nation. Play action ring. He's got a couple of receivers out. Mayer with the catch. Mayer will go out of bounds, picking up the first down at the 39-yard line, run out by Tom Klein.
And Mayer wide open. There's a 5-yard cushion, takes it down inside the 40 and stops the clock.
So Josh Mayer on the reception that time as they pick up the first down. And it is 1st down and 10 at the 40-yard line. Mayer has caught 2 passes for 25 yards. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Georgetown Hoyas. They have 2 timeouts remaining, I believe. They used 1 earlier. Ring and a little play action. No pressure. And dropped by the receiver, Rob Scarlatta. He was trying to turn upfield before he got the football. Well, where's the pass rush for St. John's here?
Well, it's hard to get a pass rush when you have the quarterback with the mobility to run outside. Right there, Scarlatta wide open. He could catch it, get out of bounds, stop the clock. We're inside 15 seconds left to go in the first half.
Well, we've had a bushel of drop passes in this game.
Well, there you see Bill Ring. He's a little disappointed, but I tell you what, as a freshman, showing great leadership today.
Now, Bill Ring, whose numbers were not impressive, only completing 35% of his passes, 8 for 16 for 137 yards. Mayer going in motion. Ring with time, going on the sideline, out of the hands of Dorian Bell. He got popped by Kurt Ditzler. Ditzler back in action after being out with 3 games. He's that tough kid from Islip that's been sidelined with assorted injuries. Has had a back problem, but he really popped him there. And he's had a great season, Marty. 4 interceptions in playing just 5 games.
And we saw him have 3 interceptions on the one game we did earlier in the season. That's a tremendous hitter.
3rd and 10 at the 40-yard line with just 7 seconds to go. So this conceivably could be the final play of the first half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the special feature on the St. John's basketball program. Carl Reuter and Marty will review the first half highlights and stats. Ring going deep for the sideline. He's got a man out there, but it goes incomplete. Dorian Bell, the speedster, was down there. Ken Forte on the coverage, and Bill Ring heads to the sidelines. The Hoya fans, there aren't too many here, but they have to be proud of the way this young kid is doing, as well as their 29-year-old coach, as they head to the sidelines into the locker room with a surprising 7-0 lead.
Well, they played very hard. They played for 30 minutes. St. John's is coming out here today, played with no intensity. In this game, the difference between winning and losing a lot of time is the emotion that your players play with.
Well, there's no question about it. We mentioned Georgetown's defense being outstanding, only giving up 13 points. Pass efficiency defense, they're #1 in 1AA. Teams have not passed the ball at all against them, and you look at Sharkey's numbers. Even though he's had some drops, the coverage has been good, and they have not done a good job, St. John's, in passing today. Let's go to Carl Reuter standing by with Bob Ricca.
All right, Barry, thanks very much. Would flat and uninspired be a good description of the first half of St. John's?
No, I think we started the ball game out. We moved the ball down the field, Carl. I think that maybe they made some adjustments and we didn't readjust. We had the big holding penalty here. I thought we were going in for a score. That's took the momentum away from us. And then one big pass play. It's a ball game.
Offensive line seems to be having some trouble blocking there for Sharkey. Am I right on that estimate?
It's not the same person every time. It's a different man. We're spotty. Here and there, it's a different person. One man breaks down.
Are you looking ahead towards Ionel next week?
Ionel means nothing. We don't win here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you think the guys are looking ahead?
No, this is a good football team we're playing, and we just have to strap it up and come out in the second half.
All right, good luck in that second half, Coach. All right, Coach Bob Ricca of the St. John's Redmen walking off the field here. Georgetown on top by the score of 7-0. When we return to Kehoe Field, campus of Georgetown in Washington, D.C., a feature on Brian Mahoney.
Beautiful campuses.
Russo can have an opportunity to run.
You know, you talk about Anthony Russo, and he's really doing, as Barry said in that first half, he's gaining a lot of those yards on his own, not getting help from the people in front of him.
But what you're seeing is Georgetown defense, they're stretching the field of play. They're not going to let him go north and south. They're making him run east and west a lot. Right now, he's got to run the ball outside the tackle. That's where he can pick up his big yards. But what we saw in the first half is Anthony Russo going tackle to tackle.
Take a look at the halftime highlights in this one. Only one touchdown, but there are still a lot of highlights. 7-0. Now, the first touchdown was set up by Bill Ring, hitting Paul Belkin 58 yards on this one.
And what you see is Bill Ring. He's going to roll out left to right. Beacon's back there, picks up, gets it inside the 5-yard line.
All right, now they switched ends because that was at the end of the first quarter. So 34 seconds into the second quarter, it's Bill Ring taking it in.
Well, he orchestrated the drive, and they let him take it in from the 1. The 4 is right there to stop him, but it was only a 1-yard rush.
We talked about turnovers in this first half. Here's Sharkey throwing the interception. Yakabachi with the pickoff.
Well, Yakabachi, he's out there, but Sharkey, He's got to throw the ball out there. Iadivio's wide open. You got to loft the ball a little bit.
Pressure again coming on Sharkey to sack. Wanika.
Well, we said it's Sharkey's fault, but if you don't have the horses blocking up front, well, Kanika right there, he comes in, Sharkey goes down for the sack.
Are you making major adjustments if you're Bob Ricka in the locker room right now?
Well, I think if I'm Bob Ricka, I tell my team one thing. Guys, if we don't win today, we don't win the MAC conference. Forget about Iona. It's up to you. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to give you the plays. I'm going to call the defenses. But, hey, guys, you guys want to win? Go out there and play.
What about the 29-year-old coach, Bob Benson, for Georgetown, who I know this morning, unlike you and I, did not have to shave?
Well, you know, the one thing about Bob Benson, he has nothing to lose. Right now, he can keep his team motivated. He can say, hey, guys, we're playing against the best running back in possibly Division III history, and we've got him shut down to 67 yards. Remember, it's a 60-minute game. We got to go out and play for 30 more. Let's go out and have fun.
All right, and we'll have fun when we come back for the start of the second half. Kehoe Field, Georgetown University in the nation's capital. We're back right after this.
Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., where a surprising story is taking place. The Georgetown Hoyas leading the St. John's Redmen by a score of 7-0. Well, next week, the Hofstra Flying Dutchmen will take on the Fordham Rams. With a big win against St. John's, ruining the homecoming at St. John's a few weeks ago. And St. Peter's is playing at Central Connecticut. We mentioned the Colgate at Fordham game, another local game in the New York area. Dartmouth playing at Columbia. Wagner is playing Monmouth. Wagner doing very well. And Salisbury playing at CW Post. Tom Klein and company doing very well, throwing a lot of touchdowns for the CW Post Pioneers. But here both teams are back on the field, Marty. And, you know, you look at St. John's, their club that scores a lot of points, averaging 28 points a game. They're over 350 yards total offense, but here in the first half against Georgetown, held to just 110 yards total offense.
And the big thing, Anthony Russo being held to 62 yards in the first half, longest gain of 13.
Well, you heard Bob Benson's game plan right here on the pregame show with Carl Reuter. He says if we can contain him, we kind of laughed at ourselves and say, hey, how can you stop Russo? But they have held him, and he had a lot of carries. He carried the ball 18 times and just picked up those 62 yards. So the stage is set for what should be an interesting second half. St. John's knows that it must win this game to have any chance next week against Iona. That'll be a Friday night game at Redmond Field, November the 12th. And they have had a history of wild games. We've been there for some of them right here on Sports Channel. So St. John's will be kicking off. John Ledwith teeing up the ball. Belkin will go back to receive the kick with DeWitt. Keisha Justinian and Georgetown scored early in the second quarter, a quarterback sneak by the freshman quarterback Bill Ring that came after a 58-yard pass completion to Paul Belkin. Ring setting up his own touchdown sneak with the fine pass. Ledwith kicking off. It'll be taken on the far side by Belkin. He fakes the reverse, and Belkin still carrying. Cuts into the secondary. One man back, Ledwith. Ledwith got a piece of him. Now he's brought down from behind after he picked up a huge gain. Up Charlie Broadway, bringing him down at the 45-yard line.
And the one thing you have to be aware of, Belkin, he's going to fake the reverse, but you can't hand off to a guy running underneath. The reverse would have had to come on top of him. Look at Belkin. It's a fake handoff. Right there, you have to have that awareness to make the tackles, but look at the second, third effort. Belkin takes it close to the 50-yard line.
45-yard return for Belkin. So that is a great way for Georgetown to start the second half. They'll stay on the ground here as they go to Scarlatta. And Scarlatta punching his way inside the 45, brought down by Al Bruno after about a 2 or 3 yard pickup, setting up second down.
And you talk about a play that'll give you some motivation and give you some momentum, some excitement. A 45-yard kickoff return to open up the second half.
2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line for the Georgetown Hoyas, leading 7-0. Georgetown 2-1 in MAC conference play. They lost their opening game to Iona in the last 2 minutes. Going in motion is Kniff, rolling left with plenty of time, throwing back up the middle, overthrew his intended receiver, and it falls incomplete, setting up a 3rd and 7. Bill Ring with a very good first half, Marty, for this freshman. 8 for 19, 136 yards. and no interception.
And let's give credit to Steve Dombrowski right here, number 71. He's going to come in there, give Ring, it's a little late, but he's going to let Ring know, hey, I'm coming after you every play.
That's something they didn't do in the first half at all, Marty. They didn't get that kind of rushing the passer effort from the front four.
Well, that may be the first time all day that Ring hit the ground.
So a big 3rd and 7, let's call it. Uppel going in motion, nobody back to block. He gets protection, throws for Belkin. Belkin cuts inside, has the first down. Nifty move on Klein as he cut in on him and was finally taken down by Walter DeForest.
And Belkin knows right where the defender's coming up. Klein, he turns inside, picks up the first down. Watch Ring, he goes back. Again, no pressure. You're going to see Dombrowski come late. There's Belkin, he turns inside. Klein can't stop him from picking up the first down.
Well,
DeForest comes over and finishes them all.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Paul Belkin having a fine game. Last week caught a couple of passes for 38 yards. He's had a fine game so far today. DeWitt, and he is driven down. Walter DeForest bringing him down, but there is a penalty marker on the play. Walter DeForest looked like he was shot out of a cannon as he went after DeWitt on that play.
Well, DeWitt's going to try to take it outside. He has to break it in. Blue. A big holding penalty on Georgetown, which will nullify that short gain anyway.
So that will bring the ball back at least 10. The Georgetown Hoyas.
Holding against Georgetown. Still first down.
Will now have a 1st and 20. Look at 29-year-old coach Bob Bender, first-year coach. Came over from Johns Hopkins. Now 1st and 20. Benson, I'm sorry, at the 43-yard line.
There he is. He's having another outstanding day. But, you know, you can't rely on one player. Walter DeForest has had an incredible year, but he's going to need some help.
Now the freshman quarterback didn't like what he saw, and he has opted to take one of the 3 timeouts they have. And will come to the sideline. And we'll go for a break. Time out of the field. Early second half. St. John's trailing Georgetown 7-0. Thank you.
And Phil Ring, number 12, right there making the proper decision. If you don't see the alignment you want, it's 1st and 20. Call timeout. That's an experienced move by a young quarterback.
He's been gaining confidence according to his head coach. 1st and 20 at the 43-yard line. Ring again gets great protection. Throws short for Mayer, and he's driven back as he caught the ball at the 40-yard line. Steve D'Amicus, who we haven't mentioned much today, making the tackle there.
Well, Mayer right there, he doesn't pick up a lot of yards, but it gets him within 2nd and 15.
In case you're just tuning in, Georgetown scored early in the second quarter, the only touchdown in this game. Remember, there were 82 points scored last year between these two teams, but the defense, the story today. 2nd down and 17 at the 40-yard line after that 3-yard pickup. Mayer coming in motion. Ring coming to the near side. Throwing deep downfield for Belkin. A fight for the ball. Who's got it? Looks like an interception there. Let's wait. No, Kurt Ditzler had the ball in his hands, but they will rule it an incompletion.
Well, number 47, Walter DeForest, is going to come on a delayed blitz. You've got to give a lot of credit to him. He hits Ring right as he gets ready to throw the ball. It's up for grabs. Everybody coming down fighting for it. Goes incompleted.
Now you saw Ditzler, and we'll get another look at it once again, fighting for possession.
Watch number 47. He's going to come in there right there. Throws Ring out of sync on throwing the ball up. It goes down into the end zone. Here's everybody fighting for it. It's up for grab. You got 2 defenders, 1 receiver. It goes up, and it's going to come down as an incompletion, hit the ground.
So it's 3rd and 17 from the 40. Back at midfield, Ring throwing to the sideline, complete, and a hard hit on the receiver who caught the football. That was Chris Coleman, number 37, making his debut in the ball game. So they have used a lot of people, 6 different running backs and 6 different receivers.
And Coleman goes down there and makes the reception, but number 42, Kurt Ditzler, comes in there and just hammers them. Puts Georgetown in a 4th and 2 situation.
Well, they are going for it, Marty. 4th and 2 at the 25-yard line. again getting good protection. Throwing for Belkin. He slips the tackle. Belkin at the 15, at the 10, and he's down inside the 10-yard line. Chris Carew brought him down. It's a goal-to-go situation. The guy that's been burning him all day, the speedy senior, Paul Belkin, with another big catch.
And when Belkin came out for the second half, he was singing, "You can make it happen." Right here, he's going to go down, little crossing, he cross over the middle. Watch this, the second and third effort. It's a wet turf. You see number 47, he's on the ground, and Carew comes in to make the tackle.
16-yard pickup. It's 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. The Redmond defense has to stand tall here. Out of the I formation. Now Uppel goes in motion. DeWitt, the single setback. The handoff to DeWitt, turns the corner, chase to the far sideline, and will be down at around the 3-yard line. Run down by Mark Bernardini, number 28. But he showed the speed. He could turn the corner. DeForest was chasing, couldn't catch up to him.
And Georgetown comes with that counter trap. They're going to pull the offensive guard and the offensive tackle. DeWitt hops in the back pocket, takes it down close to the 1. Watch the offensive guard, offensive tackle. They're going to close out the corner. There's DeWitt. He's got the angle. He's got the speed. Just short of the touchdown by 1 yard.
All right, Brock Dubin, number 68, will come in the ball game as a blocking back, 6'2", 290 senior, taking a page out of the jumbo offense of Joe Gardy. He's blocking right now as they hand off, trying to turn it outside. Getting tripped up that time was number 30, Dan Knuth, but it's brought down by Tommy Klein and check it by Kurt Ditzler.
But we talked about Ditzler, a big play maker on defense. Remember, he's playing on a bad knee. He comes up, makes the tackle for a loss.
He's had back problems. Now it's 3rd and goal. There's a look at Ditzler, the exciting freshman from Islip High School on Long Island. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Mayer checks into the ball game late for the Georgetown Hoyas. 5 minutes gone here in the 3rd quarter. They lead it 7-0. They're looking for more. Single setback is Uppel. Mayer coming in motion. Ring rolling left, in trouble, being chased by Dombrowski. He'll try to score, and he goes in for the touchdown. He was able to just get by Steve Diamikis. Dombrowski was chasing him, but Ring with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, and the freshman quarterback has put his club in front 13-0.
Well, right there, Steve Diamikis, number 17, indecision. He doesn't know whether to come up and hit Ring or go back and take coverage. Anytime you see a quarterback scrambling, you freeze as a defensive player. You've got to make that proper decision right there. Indecision gave him 7 points.
Brendan Gahn to try the extra point. He's 12 for 12 on the year from our end zone camera. You see the kick up, and the kick is good. So Georgetown comes out and marches downfield. They eat up about 5 minutes and 15 seconds of the clock, and they score to open up a 14-0 lead. Bob Ricca not very happy right now.
Well, very controlled drive by Georgetown. Right here, we're going to see that indecision on number 17. Keep your eye on him. He's at the bottom of the screen. Dombrowski right there. He doesn't have the speed. Here comes 17. He makes the indecision on the pump. Ring takes it in for the touchdown.
So this surprise continues here. This fired-up Georgetown team under their first-year coach playing a very inspired game today. They've shut out St. John's up to this point, and Bill Ring has shown a lot of poise today.
And the big problem now, St. John's has to play catch-up. Their quarterback is struggling. Anthony Russo not having a big day, but, you know, Anthony Russo needs some help. Sharkey, 4 of 19 for 49 yards, 1 sack, 1 interception. He's going to have to move this offense.
Gone to kick off, line drive kick. Anitra bobbles it, will pick it up inside the 25, nowhere to go, and it'll just be brought down at around the 27-yard line. However, there's a loose ball. They fight for possession there. Let's see what the call will be. A scrum for that loose ball. They're still battling. But it appears that St. John's will have possession. That would have been a disaster, as Anitra apparently did come up with the ball as he was battling for possession with number 59 down on the ground there, and that was Eric Behrens. Well, tonight at 7, Sean Burke. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line for St. John's, trailing 14-0. Russo tries the right side of the line. He won't go anywhere. as he was brought down by big number 99, Jim Klessel, the junior, 6'4", 220-pounder.
And Klessel showing excellent speed for a guy 6'4", 220. Plays right down the line of scrimmage. Anthony Russo, a short gain of 1 yard.
He was MAC Player of the Week 3 weeks ago against Johns Hopkins. Well, that scoring drive for St. John's, or rather for the youngsters from Georgetown, 11 plays, 46 yards, and Ring going in on the touchdown run. Sharkey going for up the middle. It is going to be incomplete, intended for Anthony Iadivio at the 43-yard line.
As Sharkey goes back, he's got time for the first time in a long time, just underthrows Iadivio.
So it's now 3rd down for St. John's, 3rd and 10 at the 27. Sharkey now 4 for 20 with 41 yards. Tommy McPherson again, St. John's leading receiver, out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. Suffered that actually 3 weeks ago and continued to play with the injury. And then finally the doctors said, you know, they checked him out and said, you can't play anymore. Loose ball, and it appears it's recovered by Georgetown off the exchange. Number 51, I believe, came up with the football for the Hoyas. And 99 there as well was Jim Klessel.
And that's what happens when your quarterback is struggling. He doubts himself right there. Sharkey's going to pull back. He gets the ball. He fumbles the ball. A big turnover. Watch Sharkey. He pulls back. The ball's right there. He just doesn't find the handle. A big mistake by the quarterback.
And there you see Klessel, who made a big play moments ago, number 99, fall on the turnover. That's the 3rd turnover for St. John's. Uppel, straight ahead. Hits a brick wall as he's driven back by St. John's. Steve Dombrowski. Bob Ricca wondering what he can do to turn this team around. A bad start here in the second half. His defense allows a long drive. Now his offense turns it over. This is a very critical moment. 2nd and 8 at the 31.
And it's going to start to show on the defense. Remember, the offense of St. John's, 2 plays, and then the fumble on the 3rd. The defense is back out on the field.
They'll stay on the ground. Uppel holding onto the football. Good leg drive. Continues to battle for extra yardage inside the 20 to around the 18-yard line, close to the 1st down before Chris Carew got it.
And let's just call Uppel hammerhead right there. Just puts his head down. He's driving. Timeout by the referee out there. Is going to be very close to another 1st down.
They will bring the chains into measure as we look at the replay.
There's the counter trap again. You're going to pull your guards and tackle. Watch out. Well, he's got his head down. There's the force, and here goes Hammerhead. He's going to drive, and he picks up another 3 yards.
Michael Cotter had a shot to get him initially, number 53. Just short, as we see.
But again, Barry, now you're 3rd and 1. If you reverse the coin, St. John's has always been in 3rd and long all afternoon.
Uppel 6 carries for 26 yards. It's 3rd and 1 at the 19-yard line. They have thrown a bunch of running backs at St. John's this afternoon.
And there's a look at number 67, John Calloway. He's been doing an excellent job pulling out, knocking down that defender from St. John's all afternoon.
All right, they'll hand off, and a fumble this time on the handoff. And it appears that they have recovered, but will be shy of the 1st down. As Mark Hall, Juan Barrows, number 34, who has just checked into the game, becoming the 7th running back. That's a strange play. You bring a guy in fresh who hadn't played at all, and he fumbles on the first time he's touched the ball, Mark.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to make a mistake in the red zone. They're down there. It's 4th and 2. You've got to pick it up. Your offense has been moving. Your defense is playing well. The momentum. St. John's is right now. They're looking for somebody to come up with a big play.
And Georgetown will take their 2nd time out of this second half to talk it over once again on a 4th and 2. We'll be back. Right now, the Hoyas leading the Redmen by a score of 14-0. With Marty Lyons, Blake Jones, number 14, new quarterback in the ball game. Seldom used, 5'10", 175-pound senior. On 4th and 2 at the 20-yard line, he will be the holder for this field goal attempt, which will come from the 27-yard line. A 37-yard attempt for Gahn. The left-footed kick is up. The kick looks good, and it is good. So Brendan Gahn, who has excellent range, has kicked his 6th field goal in 10 tries this year, and the Georgetown lead is up to 17-0.
And there he is, a very happy kicker. Gahn just puts it right through the upright. Now it's 17-0, Barry, and it's a deep hole to come out of. Watch this, the ball snap. Quarterback Jones takes it down. Beautiful soccer-style kicks right through the upright.
That's his longest field goal of the year. Brendan Gaughan, just a freshman from Las Vegas. A lot warmer in Las Vegas than it is here today, Marty.
But the one thing you can feel up here in the booth, Barry, besides being cold, is the momentum and the enthusiasm Georgetown is, you know, relaying from their sidelines onto the field. This team is fired up. They're inspired. They want to win today.
Well, you know, Marty, speaking of hot weather, their final game of the season will come, of course, in Bermuda. They play Washington and Lee, and we'd love to televise that game, I'm sure all of us, but that'll be their final game. If you'd like to donate, Marty, send the message out. We'd love to be down
right,
in Bermuda.
send your donations to Bob DePoto at Sports Channel.
Now St. John's needs a big play from somebody here. That one fumbled, still fumbled. Hatwood picks it up, and the track star still going across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, the one thing Hatwood did, every time he fumbled, he was going forward. He never had to fall on the ball. Picks up 22 yards. Now St. John's has to make something happen on this offensive possession. Watch Hatwood right there. He fumbles it once. He's going forward. He fumbles it again. He finds the handle, but his legs keep moving. A big pickup of 23 yards.
Well, St. John's with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Down 17-0. A lot of time still left. They'll try Russo. Russo, the cornerback. That's the best run of the day for Anthony Russo, whose longest run was 13 yards in the first half.
Well, the one thing you got to do if you're St. John's, you know you have the bank back there and you're behind. Always go to the man that's gotten you this far. Go to Anthony Russo.
21-yard pickup for Anthony Russo. 1st and 10 at the 25. This is the deepest penetration St. John's has had since early in the game. Russo dives forward and initially tripped in the backfield by Ryan Long, number 97. But Russo always looking for that positive yardage. Dove forward. They'll mark it for about a 4-yard pickup. Let's call it 2nd and 6. Russo with 87 on his left wristband. Of course, Tommy McPherson wore number 87 and very unhappy that, of course, he's not able to play with the injury. So it's now 2nd down. Sharkey stays on the ground for Russo. Hit as he got maybe to the 20-yard line by Tom Wanaka. Wanaka with a good tackle. There's the number 87 for Tommy McPherson. Of course, McPherson was a teammate of Iadivio and Sean Sharkey in high school. They all went to the same high school, Valley Stream Central. 3rd and 5 at the 20-yard line. St. John's with 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, trailing in the ball game 17-0. Russo way back behind Sharkey, about 7 yards deep. And he gets the call again. Will not get the 1st down, but now loose ball. It's still loose on the ground. And St. John's has recovered. They pick up some yardage after the fumble. Parker coming up with the ball, a break for the Redmen there, but it appears to be still shy of the 1st down by about a yard or two, Marty.
And it's going to put him in a 4th and 1 situation. You know that Bobrick is going to have to go for it.
Let's look at the fumble, and that is enough for the 1st down. What a break.
Well, here's the 2nd and 3rd effort. Watch the swarm defense of Georgetown. They're coming in there. Here comes the ball. A big break for St. John's to recover that fumble.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. St. John's trailing 7-0. 17-0, I beg your pardon. Sharkey, quick pitch to Iadivio. Iadivio still pushing forward to get extra yardage and take it down inside the 10 and around the 7-yard line. Sam Wales pushing him down, but a good toss to Iadivio on the far sideline.
And that's what Sharkey has to do. He has to relax more. Take a little bit of pressure off yourself. Throw it to your receivers. Make sure you get the pass to them. And then let the receivers like Anthony Iadivio do something after they catch the ball. 2nd
down, and let's call it about 2. They marked the football. And actually, they're going to bring the chains in. A little tough from the angle here, but they may have picked up enough for the 1st down, or they will bring the chains in. They have marked it inside the 5-yard line, the ball.
It's a 2nd and 1 situation. It's more or less a waste down. Now look for Russo to take over. They've got it inside the 5. They have to get something on the scoreboard. Now Sharkey, all you have to do is hand it off to Russo. Let him do the rest.
2nd and 1 at the 5-yard line. He's the single setback. Russo hit and driven back. Maybe got to the line of scrimmage. His forward progress hit hard that time as he got to the line of scrimmage and driven right back.
And that's a no gain, and we'll give Georgetown's whole defense a tackle on that. Russo had nowhere to go. Great penetration. Actually lost a half a yard. Watch here. You'll see the battle of the defensive linemen. They push the offensive lineman back. Everybody comes in there, gets a piece of Russo, goes right down on his back.
Here's Sharkey on the keeper, diving and looking to pick up that very short yard for the first down. On the option, Sharkey diving forward. And the officials have indicated that they will ask for a measurement once again, and they'll bring the chains in here. Boy, you thought it was a throwaway yard. That was 2nd and 1, and they are still short. How about the defense at Georgetown, Marty? On 2nd and 1, and on 3rd and less than 1, they hold St. John's, and now it is 4th and inches inside the 5.
And Barry, we're getting late in the 3rd quarter right here. St. John's, they have to get some points out of this drive. Otherwise, Georgetown could just put them in a big hole, and there's no way out. They can start throwing the dirt on the Redmen if the Redmen don't get any points out of this drive.
You watch from our end zone camera. Sean Sharkey now from our ground level camera. Chris Galander snapping the ball. Sharkey trying to go, and he's pushed back on the quarterback sneak. They got penetration in on Sharkey.
And he may have fumbled where he got popped. And it looks like there you're talking about momentum. The enthusiasm, Georgetown takes over. They hold them from inside the 10 on 4 consecutive downs.
Hoya mania here at Georgetown. Tom Wanaka coming up with the big play once again. The young man from Staten Island, from Monsignor Farrell High School, who's had a great game already.
Watch Wanaka, number 57. He's going to bend Sharkey right back, right here. Oh, wow. Sharkey goes to his knee. The ball comes out. Georgetown takes over.
1st and 10 at the 5-yard line. Uppel straight up the middle into the secondary. Breaks a tackle, gets a block, and driven out of bounds after picking up the first down at the 23-yard line. There is a penalty marker on the play at the sideline where he was knocked down.
And it's holding against Georgetown right there. It won't hurt them that much, Barry, because they can't take the full 10 yards. It's only going to cost them 2.5.
Let's go down to the field, and here's Carl Reuter.
Defense came back out on the field. Before the St. John's defense came back on the field, you see assistant coach Ernie Olson. He went over the different defensive schemes, and the last thing he said was when he looked back up at the players, he said, fellas, sad eyes and not being hungry enough is not going to win us football games. St. John's is totally down on their side of the field.
All right, Carl, good report. You can see it the way they have played.
Holding Georgetown, still 1st down.
But Barry, the penalty won't hurt them that much. Remember, they were inside the 5. It's going to be a 2.5-yard loss. There's Bob Ricka. He's got to be frustrated. He's looking up. It's late in the 3rd quarter. I'm running out of time. I'm 17 points down. On the other sidelines, you see Bob Benson, the enthusiasm, the young coach telling his truth. Hey, guys, we're close to getting a victory. We'll go to 3-1 in the MAC, and no telling what happens.
Well, football is in a game of emotion. Underdogs can win, outplaying favorites.
Now we have a dead ball foul, personal foul, defense, automatic 1st down.
Well, they marched off the first penalty, did the second, giving Georgetown a 1st down. There's Bob Ricka. He's holding his hands up. Hey, what can I do?
That second flag that we spotted near the St. John's sideline was apparently the personal foul. So Bill Ring has a fresh 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Here's the pitch as they try to turn it outside. Number 30, Kniff, taken down after a short run by Walter DeForest. Danny Kniff, the freshman out of Fordham Prep, who was MAC Rookie of the Week in the opening ball game against St. Peter's when he carried 12 times for 134 yards. And he's the future, along with Carrie DeWitt. We've seen him, number 21. They've used a lot of young players today.
They're rotating their backs. They're trying to wear down this defense. But there's a guy, number 47, DeForest. You can't wear him down. He's going to go for 60 minutes. He's a little frustrated, but he's got to play hard.
Well, the rest of his team hasn't played with the intensity he's shown. Scarlatti going in motion. They go to Uppel, and Uppel will cross the 20. And again, the aforementioned Walter DeForest, who had 18 tackles in one game against Canisius. That was a loss. Has come up with close to those kind of numbers already today, Marty.
With a little bit of help from Ray Lambright right there. Lambright, again, having a great year. But they've got to be a little frustrated right now, Barry. They're looking up as we isolate on 47. He closes the gap. There's that defense swarming. They've got to do it more often. They've got to create turnovers. They're looking up. They're 17 points down.
3rd and 7 from the 20-yard line. They've got to get the ball back to Redmond here. They send a man in motion. Kniff. Again, Ring with plenty of time. Throwing deep, wide open, and dropping the football, John Dooley.
And Dooley would have had 7 right there. He's got to concentrate. He's got to come up with the ball. But remember, number 47, we've talked about him stuffing the hole. He's back there in coverage. Just a day late, dollar short, and a drop pass.
You got to be impressed with the arm of Bill Ring. He put that right on the money.
Well, Bill Ring is throwing it out, but you got Dooley behind the coverage right there. He's got to make that reception. He's got 60 yards of open field.
Here's the punt, a short one. St. John's will let this one roll. No return this time for O'Leary. It takes a good Georgetown roll. It rolls an additional 10 yards. And finally will die at around the St. John's 43-yard line. And with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, it's 17-0.
And there's John Callaway, number 67, the offensive left guard. He's been having a great day. If he's hurt, that could be a big blow to the offense.
Give credit to that offensive line. It appears he's shaken up.
But it looks like it could be an ankle or a knee. He's got that knee brace on. We got to hope for the best right now. As St. John takes over, great field position.
Ball up at the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Play action, Sharkey throwing on the run. Iadibio trying to make the diving catch, and they will rule it a completed catch, a 1st down. Now the other official comes over and says, no, he didn't catch it, and they're arguing now.
And it looked like to me, Barry, that it did hit the turf, even though Iadibio makes the effort to come back. It looked like it skimmed off the turf.
So Bob Ricca doesn't get the call here.
Here it is. We'll take a closer look. You can visibly see it, that it does hit right there on the line. Incompleted.
Good camera work by Larry Roth and Bob DePhoto's excellent crew down here in Washington. Bob Ricca hoping his team can come up with a play. They're working on number 67 on the sideline. That's John Callaway, the senior. He's been very consistent. 2nd and 10 for Sharkey, dropping straight back, stepping up, throwing into traffic. He was looking for Gadis, but he had a couple of defenders. Iacovacci was over there, along with another defender.
And another pass right there that Sean Sharkey's going to try to force in. Very lucky it's not picked off.
Well, the last 4 games, Sean Sharkey has struggled as far as his passing. His numbers today, 5 for 23 for 50 yards. And last year against Georgetown, by the way, he was 18 for 33, 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. What a difference a year for St. John's. They had 688 yards and 49 points against Georgetown last year. Here's the interception by Fazio, and he's chased to the sideline, and he goes in for the touchdown.
Well, Sharkey goes back. He's going to get pressure. He throws the ball up. Fazio picks it off, and he took it back all the way, Barry. That could put the game well on ice.
However, there is a flag upfield at the 25-yard line, so let's hold everything. Could be an illegal block maybe on the return after the interception, Marty. We'll wait as the officials are conferring. Nope. The penalty is against St. John's, so the touchdown stands. And it has been all Hoya here today.
And this is a fired-up team right there. You see Chris Fazio being congratulated by his teammates. Just comes up with a big play. Again, Sean Sharkey, ill-advised pass, goes for a touchdown.
Chris Fazio, who's their best defender, their guy who plays the one-on-one coverage, big play guy, and Bob Ricca just stunned right now.
Well, Bob Ricca's more than stunned. He's kicking the turf. He sees that MAC Conference championship just slipping away from him.
Gahn will attempt the extra point. St. John's down 23-0, and now it is going to be 24-0. What a difference, as we said, a year makes. And for the Georgetown Hoyas, embarrassed last year, giving up all those points and all those yardage, now shutting out St. John's 24-0.
All right, we're going to talk about Fazio making the interception, but watch number 47, Brian McNulty. He's going to come into the picture right there. He hits Sharkey, the ball thrown up, and Fazio, he's going to take it back 56 yards for the touchdown. Here it is. There's nobody around him there. He pulls away. Takes it in for a score. Here it is. There's Sharkey. He goes back. He sees the pressure. He throws off his back foot. He takes the hit. McNulty, he's the unsung hero. If it wasn't for the rush, it might have been a completion. Instead, it's an interception taken back for a touchdown.
Chris Fazio's first interception today, 4th of the year. He leads the team in that department. And this Georgetown defense, which we highlighted in the very open, quite a story. They've done the job shutting down Russo and Sharkey, and the offense has been perhaps the biggest surprise. Penalty was against Georgetown on that infraction, and they have moved the ball back to the 20-yard line with a kick off here. Gahn with the bouncing kick that will go out of bounds, and ball going out at the 45-yard line.
Free kick violation. Free kick violation against Georgetown.
Referee James Slavey with the call. They'll kick it from the 15-yard line. You know, Marty, the biggest surprise has been what we've seen of the offense. We expected coming in that if Georgetown was going to win this game, they were going to have to do it with their defense, which has been consistent all year. But offensively, they have been a big surprise.
But defensively, I think they played very well. Offensively, you got a guy like Bill Ring. He's back there. He's building confidence. And you got a young coach. He's taking chances. He's shuttling in and out fresh people. And he's got St. John's down. The one thing you're taught at any level, especially college football, if you have a team down, don't let them back in the game.
Well, St. John's will take it at the 50-yard line. They had the option here, and St. John's will take over 1st and 10. As Sean Sharkey, who has thrown a couple of interceptions, then last one for a touchdown, will try to regroup his team. Let's go down on the field and join Carl Reuter. All right, back to the action here. We'll go to Carl in a moment. Sharkey handing off to Russo. Russo, good yardage, could go here. Down the near sideline. He's in for the touchdown.
Well, that's the game breaker right there. You got to get the ball to Anthony Russo. Right there, he takes a gain, a ball that should have been gained for 5 yards, turns it into a big gain of 50 yards for a touchdown.
Anthony Russo with a 50-yard touchdown run, his 13th touchdown run of the year, his 56th career touchdown, and 54th rushing. So he continues to pile up the numbers on the 50-yard run right here. And now St. John's appears to be going for 2. They will. Down by a score of 24-10. They need as many points as they can possibly gather. They'll go for 2 here. Sharkey calling signals. Movement in the line. A little penetration there.
Let's check that, Barry. It's 24-6.
Right, 24-6. You're right. Anticipating maybe another point here. Offside that time was number 97 Ryan Long, but see if they say he was drawn.
And with that run, Anthony Russo, that's 25 out of the last 39 games, rushing for over 100 yards, and the first player in St. John's history to run for 1,000 yards in 4 consecutive seasons.
26 carries, 146 yards for Russo. Sharkey going to the 2 here. That's Broadway going in motion. Sharkey rolling, looking, dumping it off at the goal line, incomplete. And the 2-point attempt goes awry. And And with just 25 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And you almost have to question that call. When you have a running back like Anthony Russo, you only need 1.5 yards. Give it to your horse. Give it to the guy that just ran it 50 yards for a touchdown. Let him take it in. As we take another look, watch the vision. The play's supposed to go right. He breaks it all the way back to left. Watch, he's going to go outside. He switches the ball. He's going to cover it up, and he goes 50 yards untouched for the score.
Got a good enough block from Tommy Gadis, and he used it effectively. And go down the sideline, 4.7 speed for Mr. Russo.
But you talk about the vision, Barry. Right here, he breaks it outside rather than taking it back inside. He covers the ball up, switches it outside. Again, a great play. Now he's got to worry about that. You're getting down late in the third quarter. You have 15 minutes to play, and you're still 18 points behind.
Well, we've seen St. John's with some miracle finishes over the last couple of years. They were down against St. Peter's, down against Marist, came back on 2 earlier Sports Channel telecasts. Let's see if they can do it again here against a very tough Georgetown defense, which had almost 7 quarters of shutout football going back to the Catholic game, and had shut out St. John's until just 25 seconds remained here in this third quarter.
And as we looked at Anthony Russo, he has 147 yards rushing. He doesn't even look like he's tired.
Very durable runner. He can carry. In fact, he likes to carry the ball 40 times a game. Ledwith to kick off here. St. John's defense has to force a turnover. Got to score quickly. Taken upfield by Belkin. No reverse this time, but he spins away from the one tackle. Spins away again. Shoddy tackling by St. John. And Belkin gets close to midfield.
And when Belkin, he returns in another big one and gives his offense excellent field position. This one he returns for 33 yards.
And it was the kicker, Ledwith, who finally got a piece of him at the end, the last man back.
Well, you want to talk about missed tackles, Barry. We can count them on this play. It's coming up. We'll see one here. There's the force. He gets hit by his own guy. There's the third one. The Amicus, he's going to miss them too. Just a great effort by Belkin to take it back 33 yards.
Broadway tripped him. As we go to the live action, this is Uppel. Got away from Wade. Uppel for about a 9-yard pickup, brought down on the far sideline after he picked up about 9 yards on the play by Ken Forte.
And Paul Uppel right there, he just stiffs arm Marty Wade, number 32 of St. John's, to pick up 9 yards. Again, Barry, we're talking about 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1 for the Hoyas of Georgetown all afternoon.
Let's join Carl Roeder down on the field.
Barry, Marty, perhaps the only blemish for Georgetown so far on what has been a perfect afternoon despite some bad conditions is the loss now of number 67, offensive guard John Calloway. He's on crutches, being iced down right now on the sidelines. He's got a strained left knee. He is finished for today, but his spirits are still high.
All right, Carl, 2nd and 3, and Uppel driven back as he was hit hard once again by a man we've been mentioning quite a bit, Walter DeForest. There's a look at the injured player on the sideline.
And that's going to be a big loss. John Calloway has had an excellent game. As we see, we're coming to the end of the third quarter. The Redmen behind by 18 points.
This has to be quite a shocker. St. John's coming off the big win last week against Duquesne. Certainly flat today and being outplayed by Georgetown. We head to the fourth quarter with the Hoyas leading the Redmen. You're watching St. John's football on Sports Channel. Anthony Russo giving him 146 yards on the afternoon through 3 quarters and getting close to the record. Kind of passed Joe Dudek and came in needing 253 yards to do that. But more importantly, his team wants to get the ball back. It is 3rd and short yardage here as we begin the fourth quarter. And Ring to throw. Chased by DeForest, throws up the middle, and it's going to be a diving catch by Dooley, but there is a flag back in the backfield where Ring threw the football. It'll be a holding penalty, and that will negate the play.
And you go from 3rd and 1, you go for the gamble, you had the timeout, you talk to your coach. Rather than picking up the first down with a strong running attack, you do a little play action. The defense of St. John's, they're all cluttered together. You make a big reception to Dooley, but it's called back because of holding.
There is a flag also in the defensive backfield about 30 yards downfield, so we could have 2 penalties here. The officials will confer the initial penalty was a hold. We'll see if we can pick it up here. Dooley slams the ball down, and there's the flag. Good camera work by our crew, and we spotted Dooley getting called for the penalty.
First we have holding. Georgetown, still 3rd down. Hold that spot. Hold that spot. And now we have a dead ball foul, non-contact foul, blue.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Dooley. Now Barry, he go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 29.
That's a 25 or 26-yard penalty if the arithmetic is close. And so the ball moved back to the 25-yard line. They have to go to the 42-yard line to pick up the first down.
3rd and 33.
So the freshman quarterback, Bill Ring. Will he play it cautious here with a lead? Probably. Looking from the eye. The pitch is to Kniff. The freshman taken down as he got to the line of scrimmage and brought down by John Anitra. It'll set a punting situation up. And St. John's will get the ball back here as O'Leary has checked into the ball game. He'll be the safety.
And worse than anything, Barry, what that penalty did is going to give St. John's excellent field position an opportunity to get right back in this game.
Well, in the past, they have been an explosive scoring team. They put a big rush on and a good kick. O'Leary will take it at the 37-yard line. O'Leary at cross midfield gets some blocking down the sideline. And he's taken down after a big return. Brought down on the far side by the punter, Joseph Piscatella. If he had gotten around Piscatella, he would have had a touchdown.
And O'Leary takes that one back 34 yards. Now your offense has great field position. Time for Anthony Russo to go back to work. There's O'Leary, breaks the tackle, gets a block by DeForest there, gets another block, picks up 34-yard tackle by the punter.
O'Leary has been outstanding on punt returns, one of the bright spots today for St. John's. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Early 4th quarter, St. John's trailing by 18. Russo skipping outside, trying to turn the corner. He does. He's got 5. He's got 9 as he goes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock as he goes out at around the 16-yard line.
And Anthony Russo takes a no-gainer and turns it into a gain of 7 yards. Right there, he's going to bounce it down the line of scrimmage. Well, he picked up more than 7. He picked up a first down.
Picked up about 12, I guess, on the play.
Watch him as he runs behind his offensive lineman. It's not here. No, not there. There's that burst of speed, picks up the first down, and just keeps going right there. Little stiff arm right there.
That was to Sam Wales. Now again, Russo tripped up as he got inside the 15. Let's see where they say his knee went down at around the 13-yard line. Hurry up offense here for St. John's, Marty.
Well, you got to remember they're 18 points behind. It's the 4th quarter. They want to get a little momentum. Hey, just keep giving it to Anthony Russo. Something positive will happen.
2nd and 8 from the 14-yard line. And short yardage right there for Russo, brought down by Alex Petrosky, freshman linebacker, number 55. Again, St. John's without a huddle.
And the only problem with this hurry-up offense, you got to give Anthony Russo time to get his feet back underneath him, time to take a break. There's an excellent block line. He throws it up.
Almost intercepted by Wales as the intended receiver in the end zone was being well defended by Sam Wales, number 2, the sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi. Threw that one certainly up for grabs, Marty. It'll be 4th and 4 from the 10.
And Barry, we're getting down close to 13 minutes. Sharky's got to be very careful. You got to get some points out of this drive. Right there, he throws it up for grab, almost intercepted.
Gadis was the intended receiver, but Wales certainly a better chance to pick that one off. Biggest play of the game for the Redmen here. 4th and 4. Sharkey with a little play action. He'll roll to the right, in trouble, throws, Parker, touchdown! But there might be a flag on the play. There's a penalty marker down in the line of scrimmage, and this could be negated. Let's see.
Barry, it came from the umpire. That's usually where you see holding, and that's the call. It's going to go against St. John's. A big mistake, a crucial mistake. He erases that touchdown.
Dan Parker upset. Bob Ricca, hands on hips.
Here, we'll try to pick it up for you. Look at Sharkey. It's a play action fake. They're looking. There's the flag coming in. Sharkey, a great throw to Parker. All for naught.
Well, it was Parker who caught the game-winning touchdown pass in the opening game against St. Peter's in the closing seconds. Now St. John's faced with a 4th and 14 at the 21. As Russo as the single setback. Sharkey pressured, will throw, complete, great effort by Parker to get in for the touchdown.
And that's what you need. When your quarterback delivers the ball, make the reception and take it in. Right there, you see Bob Rickett. We're going to go for 2 again.
21-yard touchdown pass from Sharkey to Parker. And the Redmen now trailing 24-12. We'll go again as Marty pointed out for 2 here. A lot of time left, Marty. 13 minutes and change. This has been a cardiac kind of team. They love to come from behind. And the thing about Sharkey is he never gets down on himself. He'll make mistakes, and then he'll come up with a big play for you. Trying to come up with one here. Sharkey throwing in the end zone. Intended for Iadivio. He wanted a pass interference call against Fazio, but he won't get it. The score remains 24-12. So Sean Sharkey comes up with a touchdown pass right here.
Well, watch Sharkey. He's going to go back. He's keeping in Russo, and there it is, a perfect strike. Parker catches it, takes it in. Hard running after he caught the ball, takes it in for the touchdown. There it is, right at you. Look at this bullet right there. Now, we've seen Parker drop a couple of those today, and we've blamed Sharkey. Right there, he holds on to it, takes it in for a score.
Mike Cedar, number 18, had a chance to wrap him up at the 5-yard line. He broke free from him, and then Wales had a shot at him, number 2, but Parker goes in for the touchdown, and the Redmen, with 2 quick scores, have stormed back here to within 12.
Plenty of time left, especially if this young man right here, number 18, Sean Sharkey, can get hot. He can bring this team back. You see Russo, he's strong. Right now, you got to hope that your defense can go out and shut down this running attack and shut down Bill Ring of Georgetown.
Sharkey's 14th touchdown pass of the season and 44th in his career. And so Sean Sharkey coming up with a big 4th down play. Again, St. John's has been a club all year that has done well in the 4th quarter. Come from behind in a couple of their wins. They've outscored their opponents 80-51 in the 4th quarter. And that one fielded upfield by number 24. The whistle blows as Kevin Pellegrini has it. And that last drive for St. John's, a good one as they come up with it. And the touchdown pass on 4th down results in the 6 points, and St. John's now trailing 24-12, but it'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
That's what we worked on all week, right? That's fine. Now we've got to get there and make plays. Be intense, stay focused. Stay focused.
Big defensive play by John Anitra as he gets into the backfield and takes down the running back, Paul Uppel.
Now you see the motion levels switching over to St. John's. Watch John Anitra, number 34. He's coming in from the backside. Hits Uppel for a loss of 3.
2nd and let's call it 13 from the 33-yard line. John Anitra, very fiery kind of player. 5'11", 220-pounder from Bayshore. St. John's wants to turn the ball over here. It's this young, inexperienced team. Freshman quarterback Ring with plenty of time finds Mayer, and a good tackle in the open field by Demikas. A short gain on the play.
Anytime you can close on the receiver like that and hold him to a gain of 5 yards, you're doing your job. Demikas comes in there. Look at the helmets. They're kissing cousins right there. I've never seen 2 helmets get stuck like that, Barry.
That is very, very unusual. Even with your kind of helmet, buddy. Huh?
Well, there's Lambright doing a headbutt on the Riley. They just got them stuck together.
3rd and 6 from the 39-yard line. St. John's throughout the year has done well defensively in 3rd down situations, holding teams to just 27% conversion. And right now they want to get the ball back. A lot of time left, Marty. That clock not moving very quickly here in the 4th quarter. Only 3 minutes have elapsed. So the ball put back in play here. Clock starts to go. Working out of the I formation. Ring with a slot left formation now sends Mayer in motion. Back to throw. Has has time. Throwing for Mayer. Mayer with a catch close to the first down. The Amicus took him down, but Mayer made a fine catch, a well-thrown ball, and it appears that it's going to be very close. They're going to be very close to a first down.
And this offensive line of Georgetown doing an excellent job. They're picking up the blitz. There's Ring. Myers comes down, and it's going to be enough for a first down.
Well, they haven't moved the change yet. We'll wait for the officials. Ball is right in front of the chain on the far side. They'll bring it in here.
It looks like it's enough for the first down, Barry. A big pickup right there.
Well, give credit to this team on third downs. They pick it up there. It is 1st and 10 now at the 46-yard line. So Bill Ring coming up with a key third down pass. And he's used a lot of different receivers today. He's answered the bell, Bill Ring, huh?
And Ring is 14 of 27 for 188 yards.
Better numbers than Sean Sharkey. Who would have thought that coming in? Bill Ring had really not had a good passing day since early in the year. But he's only thrown one interception in the last 3 games. And if you include today, it's 4 games. There's a trip up by DeWitt by DeForest again. DeForest getting in, submarining the play. He's been in the backfield all afternoon.
And Barry, the big difference between Ring and Sean Sharkey, his receivers, Ring's receivers are catching the ball. Right now, you see Sean Sharkey. There's a great look at DeForest. He's played an excellent game. Hey, Sean Sharkey, he's got to build that relationship with his receivers so that his offense can be more productive. Right there, number 47, DeForest, he's carried the load the whole season, and he knows he's looked up 12 points behind. I can keep my defense. I can keep my team in the game.
2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line. Chris Coleman, 37 in the ballgame, is a wide receiver. They go to the near sideline, and Coleman makes the catch. Goes out of bounds. That will stop the clock as he caught it inside the 50-yard line. So it's marked at the 49-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and about 4.5. With the clock stopped with 10:38 to go here in the 4th quarter. Georgetown, which led 24-0, now leading 24-12. Don't forget, next week on Sports Channel, Hofstra football back on the air, taking on the Fordham Rams at 1 o'clock next Saturday from Jack Coffey Field. Another big third down play here, 3rd and about 5. They pick up the blitz. Ring throws for the sideline. Coleman, a diving catch. Will they rule it complete? They do. So here's this kid Coleman, Chris Coleman, who had no receptions before today, coming into the ball game late and catching a couple of passes.
Well, the one thing he's going to do, he's going to run it down and out. Look at it. He's going to be wide open. Ring makes the throw. Coleman makes the catch. Another first down.
And another freshman on this young team. I'll tell you, Georgetown, with you can see the way this young coach's enthusiasm is certainly going to be a good recruiting force at this 1AA non-scholarship level. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Ring on first down, going to throw, puts it up for grabs. He got hit by DeForest again. Well, I'll tell you, both linebackers have been tremendous. Tom Wanaka, number 57, and Walter DeForest, they have played tremendous games.
Well, how about the awareness of Bill Ring, number 12, right there. He's only a freshman. He knows he could take the sack. Instead, he throws it up. He throws it out of bounds. No chance for an interception.
Clock stops. 10-12 to go in this slow-moving 4th quarter. And another opportunity for a new set of players checking into the ball game for Georgetown. You're looking at Walter DeForest, the young man who sat out last year, went to high school in Connecticut, lives in Florida. On the ground, Uppel, nice hole, tripped up line, keeps going. Boy, Uppel, but tough to bring down for St. John's today.
And there's a mistake, the only mistake that we've called from number 47 all day, Walter DeForest. He's got to square his shoulders up right there in the hole, make that tackle. Instead of missing it, it's close to another first down. Watch 47. He's got to keep those shoulders square. He over pursues. There's Uppel. He's going to pick up some positive yards. Puts Georgetown in a 3rd and 1 situation.
Well, DeForest has got to be human. He's been in every play. He's got to be exhausted. St. John's defense has been out here most of the second half. Another big 3rd down play coming up here, and to throw is Ring. He's got a man open. It's Belkin. Belkin trying to spin away, has the first down at the 24-yard line. John and Nietzsche over there on the coverage, but they're really mixing up the plays here. 3rd and short, they're going for
Well,
it.
3rd and 1, and you look at St. John's defense, they're all bunched in from the tight end to the tight end. They forget all about Belkin being left out. As the wide receiver, he's wide open. Ring looks out there, throws it, picks up 7.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for the Georgetown Hoyas, who have come out here and played a tremendous overall game. Georgetown next week will play at Canisius and finish up against Washington and Lee in Bermuda on November 20th. Hand off this time and trying to turn it outside. Once again, they go to Mark Frantangeli, the 5'11", 210-pound freshman, stopped by Steve Dombrowski.
Well, Dombrowski right there is that same play. They've been very successful with it. It's the counter trap. Dombrowski, number 71, he comes from behind for a big loss of 5.
So it's now 2nd and 15 from the 29-yard line. Again, they keep substituting 2 or 3 players in on the backfield on every play. As once again, changes have been made. Paul Uppel checks back into the ball game, and the clock ticking, and that is an ally certainly for Georgetown, leading by 12. Belkin lines up at the top of your screen, wide to the right. Uppel in motion. Here's the pitch. Trying to turn it outside. Kniff down the sideline, stepped out of bounds, however, after a short pickup, as he was run to the sideline by Steve Diamikis. As a look at number 68, Al Bruno, who's had a fine career at St. John's. Bounced back from his serious injury that he had. Put some weight on, and Coach would like to see him lose some of that weight, but he has played very well nevertheless this year.
Still at 260 pounds, he has the mobility. He has 4 sacks, 41 tackles on the year, and really he's an inside player. They're playing him out there at defensive end. I think he's more effective if he goes closer to the tackle.
Good point, Marty. 3rd and 14. Ring again will have time to throw. He's being chased by Dombrowski. Throws on the run, tipped in the air by Diamikis, and it falls incomplete. That will stop the clock with now some 8 minutes and 1 second remaining. And with a 4th and long yardage here, up and around the 27-yard line. Coach Benson with a decision to make, Marty. His club's leading by 12. It looks like they will send the field goal unit team on. Well, we mentioned this young man has quite a foot. He's already kicked a field goal, a 37-yarder, Brendan Gahn. His longest. He's a freshman from Las Vegas. Was a Division I prospect and got hurt when he was out in high school. A lot of the big programs overlooked it.
And this will be a 45-yard field goal attempt for Gahn.
Ball will be spotted by Jones at the 35. The kick up, and the kick is going to be no good. Just missed. St. John's will get it back. Time out of the field. Still time for the Redmen to stage a comeback. They trail 24-12 with 7:54 to 55 to go in the 4th quarter. 8-yard line for Sean Sharkey. Russo. And he is driven back and taken down. Number 99, once again, Jim Klessel, and number 55, Alex Petrosky, brought him down. Russo now 30 attempts for 163 yards. You take away that 50-yard run on the other 29-yard attempts, 100 yards, that's pretty good coverage, Marty.
Well, they've controlled him most of the afternoon, and you see Sharkey, they're in that hurry-up offense.
2nd and 9 from the 29. Sharkey looking deep, chased out of the pocket, going for the sideline, overthrows Iadivio as it went out of bounds, stopping the clock. So it'll be 3rd down for St. John's. St. John's came out flat. It was a scoreless first quarter. A long pass by the freshman quarterback Bill Ring set up the first touchdown early in the 2nd quarter. A quarterback sneak.
And Sharkey having another inconsistent day. He's 6 of 27 for 71 yards.
Hard to believe those kind of numbers. Sean Sharkey, but he has struggled the last 4 games as far as his passing is concerned, but he's a gamer. Sharkey will throw, finds Parker wide open, and Parker, a good second effort to midfield, has the first down. We mentioned that here's a guy they have to get involved in the offense more, 21-yard pickup, especially with the loss of McPherson. He's got great hands, Parker. Undersized tight end at 185 pounds. Now the pass to Iadivio along the near sideline. He steps out of bounds after a 7-yard pickup. the ball will be inside the 45 at around the 44 or 43-yard line. Anthony Iadivio, who led the team in receiving last year. Excellent possession receiver. Now Gadis and O'Leary will come out as wide receivers to the left. Iadivio to the right on 2nd and 3. They'll try Russo to pick up the first down. He has it. And Russo pushed forward inside the 35-yard line. And inside the 35 to around the 34-yard line.
And the one thing you like about Anthony Russo, he'll always keep his feet moving, and he's always trying to do something positive. Right there, picked up the first down. There's Sharkey. He's back to throw the ball again.
Oh, big collision there, but O'Leary hanging onto the football as he was wrapped hard while he was trying to make that catch. Russo, by the way, picked up 10 yards on that last carry. Now it's 2nd and 3 from the 27-yard line. Russo looking for the first down, has it, and more. Russo still going, and down inside the 10-yard line, close to the 6-yard line.
And he's going to pick up something positive. This team now, they have the momentum. They're playing with confidence. Sean Sharkey, you can throw out the numbers in this game, Bear. He's taking that leadership role right now. He knows he's got to get the Redmen into the end zone. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. They try the left side. Sharkey inside the 5. Now Russo has gone over the 200-yard mark on the afternoon. He needs 53 yards in that area to become the all-time leader, but he's not thinking about that. They need to get into the end zone now. 2nd and goal from the 5. Russo fake here. Sharkey close to the goal line from our end zone camera. He's down at about the 1.5-yard line. And there's what Sharkey does best. He runs the ball. Number 97, Ryan Long, brought him down. Now they put in a defensive change here. They try to get St. John's making some changes here on this goal line. They go to a power backfield. Anitra has come in as a blocker. And they go behind Anitra as Russo goes in for the end zone. And it's a brand new ball game right there, that whole drive. Sean Sharkey, Anthony Russo, nobody made a mistake. John Anitra just checked into the ball game, number 34, as a blocking back. He's been seeing double duty, the outstanding linebacker. And now St. John's, with some 5 minutes and 26 seconds, has come back after trailing 24-0 to make it 24-18. And it appears that they will go for the extra point here, the 1-point conversion. John Ledwith with Iadivio the holder. Could St. John's pull off another one of their miracle comebacks on Sports Channel? High snap. Ledwith's kick is up, and it is good. Don't go away, folks. St. John's, Bob Ricca, and I know that his mother is watching this game at home in Smithtown. His mother recently got out of the hospital, and we want to wish her the very best. Lucy Pelleccia is watching the game on TV. She says, don't get too excited, Mom, but she's got to be pretty excited, and so is Bob Ricca. Well, the one thing Bob Ricca has to know, this is a barn burner right here. Well, let's take another look at the touchdown. Anthony Russo right there, he just runs it in for the score. 2nd rushing touchdown for the touchdown maker, Anthony Russo. Now 14 on the year, and his 57th career touchdown. That last drive, some 10 plays, 72 yards, and a lot of time left for the Redmen to come back. You know, if you're Georgetown, Marty, you're a young team, and if you're Bob, Benson, you got to learn how to win these kind of games. And you got a lot of young players. And the one thing you have to learn is you're never out of a game. Well, we've certainly seen that with St. John's in previous years, with the Iona games that we've televised in the past, winning on the final play. John Ledwith kicking a field goal 3 years ago to win that game. And don't forget, you St. John's fans, next Friday night they'll renew that rivalry at Redmond Field at 7:30. Squib kick, bouncing downfield. Fazio to pick it up at the 25, up the sideline, shoved out of bounds in front of the St. John's bench. And a little pushing and shoving going on over there. That's Charlie Broadway, it was Hatman, number 23, maybe, in the middle of things. All right, scoring summary. You just saw 11 plays for St. John's, and Anthony Russo going in on the touchdown run.
And let's take a look at Anthony Russo. Watch
how he keeps his legs moving, Barry. Right there, he gets hit. He keeps them moving, takes it all the way down. Just a little shake and bake there inside the 5 for a 19-yard gain on that play.
That set up the touchdown run. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. And the running back run down very quickly over there. That was DeWitt. Run down after maybe a yard pickup. St. John's a fired-up defensive unit right there. Steve D'Amica's coming up and banging him.
And St. John's, you didn't see that enthusiasm for the first 3 quarters. Now they know the game's on the line. They know they're only 5 points behind. This team is fired up.
Their conference chances on the line. Iona 4-0 in the league. St. John's trying to go into that game next week and make it mean something. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line. 4:08 to go. Now check that, 4:45 to go. Back to throw Ring. Again, has plenty of time. Throws, and it's going to be complete upfield to Coleman. Coleman hit shy of the first down, up at around the 43-yard line.
And Coleman's going to be 3 yards short of the first down. The defense of St. John's needs to come up with a big play. We're getting down close to that 4-minute mark.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 at the 43-yard line. Again, changes made in the offensive backfield. Kniff checks into the ball game, replacing DeWitt as the tailback.
And remember, Georgetown, they used 2 timeouts early in the second half. They're left with, talked about big plays by big players. Number 17, Steve D'Amica comes in there, levels Ring. St. John's is going to get good field position.
3:58 to go, and O'Leary has returned punts very effectively today. He's back standing at the 30-yard line. St. John's coming. A beautiful kick by Piscatella, taken by O'Leary. O'Leary at the 15, at the 20, and a good return with not much help to the 26-yard line. St. John's 74 yards away in about 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
And O'Leary takes that ball back 11 yards, but it should have been a no-gainer. Georgetown had 5 guys down there. O'Leary splits them, picks up 11 yards.
So here we go. St. John's with 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go, trailing 24-19. Russo, the single setback. They go to Russo. No hole. He bounces outside, slips a tackle. Russo to the sideline and out of bounds after a good run. Sam Wales chased him to the sideline. Russo breaking a couple of tackles, looked like he was going to be stopped for no gain.
But the one thing Russo did, he keeps his feet moving. He's going to run. He picks up 3 or 4 positive yards before Wales can knock him out. He gets knocked out of bounds. It will stop the clock.
Now Iadivio and O'Leary will come out as receivers to the right. The throw, Sharkey. Quick pitch for Parker, and a big collision there with Cedar. But Parker hangs onto the football enough for a first down. Boy, is Dan Parker making some big plays here.
Dan Parker's going to run a streak right there. Sharkey goes back, he throws it.
Now there's a dispute going on as far as the clock is stopped, whether it is a first down. They have not moved the chains. Now let's see what the call is going to be.
Illegal motion. White. Still second down.
What they're doing is they're going to call illegal motion on number 81. That's Parker. They're going to say that he wasn't set at the line of scrimmage. A big first down he raced. You see Bob Rick over there? He wants an explanation on this one.
Now they have put the clock back in motion. St. John's now faced with a 2nd and 9 from the 27-yard line. Sharkey going for the sideline. O'Leary diving, cannot come up with it. Again, he was blitzed from the outside, and a hard rush that time. And it was Brian McNulty, number 47, who almost got him.
And McNulty hasn't gotten a sack today, but he's putting on a lot of pressure. Watch McNulty, number 47, Sean Sharkey, has nowhere to throw it. Little shortstop.
So the biggest play right now, 3rd and 9 from the 25-yard line. Boy, that Parker in motion penalty really hurt. St. John's would have had a first down. Now the Georgetown fans up on their feet in front of us on 3rd and 9 for St. John's. Long count. Here's the pitch to Russo, reverse for Iadivio. Iadivio trying to get some blocks. There's no help there. Throws it back to Sharkey, looking for a flea flicker. He's got somebody wide open downfield. Russo collides with his teammate, trying to get the football. Two players for St. John's were over there in the same area, and they used up a lot of time right there. Number 39 was Art Costello over there. And that went out of the schoolyard, and they used a lot of time on that play as well.
And I think they just try to get a little bit too fancy here. You're trying to catch Georgetown off guard. You see Bob Rickey, he still got a little smile about it. Hey, we'll come back and watch that play right after this break. Let's take another look at. There's the pitch to Anthony Russo. He pitches it to Iadivio. Iadivio is going to throw it back to Sharkey. Sharkey's going to throw it out for Russo. Russo's going to run into Costello. They're going to use up a lot of time and not pick up the first down.
Boy, if they hadn't run into each other, that certainly would have been a first down. And St. John's has just called a timeout. They had come up to the line of scrimmage and then decided to call a timeout with the biggest play of the game facing them right here on 4th and 3 at the 33-yard line. Well, tomorrow night at 8:30 on Sports Channel, the Nets. Exciting finishes. St. John's certainly gives you that right here on Sports Channel. Every game we've had, with the one exception, the Sacred Heart game, have come down to the final closing minutes. Right now it's 4th and 3 from the 33 mark.
And basically this has come down to one play. Does St. John's pick up the first down to keep this drive alive? Or does Georgetown come up with the big play?
Sharkey off to Russo, trying to get a screen. He's in trouble. Russo won't get it as he's pushed out of bounds. They had that screen well covered, and Russo shoved out shy of the first down.
And the one thing, the awareness of the Georgetown coaches, as soon as they saw Russo outside of the playing field, they made sure there was no defenders over there. You don't need a penalty. Here it is. It's going to be a middle screen. Sharkey throws it to Russo. Russo bounces off another guy right there. But watch the awareness. The players stay back. They don't need a penalty.
Well, St. John's somehow has got to get the ball back. They burned one of their timeouts. 2:45 to go. It's first down at 10 at the 32-yard line. The underdog, Georgetown Hoyas, looking to go 3-1 in MAC conference play. And now whistles blow at the line of scrimmage. We may have had a man offside for St. John's. Nope, they're going to say he was drawn off. Illegal procedure to call. Look at the freshman quarterback, Bill Ring, who's come into his own certainly today. Runs the bootleg and sprint out very well, as we've seen. His best game came early in the season against Iona when he passed for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in that game. But he was only 15 for 43. Today, Ring has put up much better numbers.
And there's Bob Rickett. Bob Rickett knows that his defense, they've created 30 turnovers coming into today's game. They need a big one here.
Here's a surprise. He's going up for it, and he's throwing for Dooley. I'll tell you, Bob Benson, he is an unorthodox coach. They're going for 6 here as he threw to the big tight end Dooley on first down there.
And Diamikis is coming off the corner. He's going to put pressure on Ring right there. Incompletion pass.
I told you, this guy says we're going to be a fun team to watch on offense and defense. Quarterback did get hit after unleashing that ball. 2nd and 15 from 37. Diamikis getting it.
Right there, coming off that corner.
Clock is stopped right now with 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go. St. John's trailing by 5. They did stop the clock, of course, on that pass. They'll try and play here. A fumble, loose ball. They tried a fancy play, but it's covered that time by Coleman. Crazy plays here. I told you, he's unorthodox. And St. John's had a chance. Cotter upset with himself, number 53. He was the closest St. John's guy to possibly coming up with that fumble.
But Diamikis comes up again. It's going to be a corner blitz. He hits the lead block. The runner has nowhere to go. What's 17? Uppel. He hits Uppel. He causes the fumble without even touching the ball. St. John's could have had a big turnover. But now Georgetown in a 3rd and 24.
And they're letting the clock run, of course, here. Using as much of the clock here. This time they'll try Uppel. St. John's will try to gang tackle him. They don't want to get a penalty here. And they go in hard, bringing him down. Ken Forte, the last man on. As you saw Martin Wade and Al Bruno in on the tackle. And St. John's will call its second timeout. That will stop the clock with 1:48 to go. So the Redmen will have one more chance. Marty Lyons.
And look for St. John's. It's 4th and long to come up, have a 10-man rush. They're going to try to block this punt.
4th and 26 from the 47-yard line. For the Hoyas of Georgetown, trying to hold on after leading 24-0. Their lead now 24-19. Don't forget, next week, St. John's Friday night against Iona. And then 2 weeks we'll be on hand at Thanksgiving night, the Thanksgiving morning, rather, when they take on Stony Brook. We'll see that game live and exclusive here on Sports Channel.
Now, the first thing you got to tell your punters, make sure you have a good snap. Make sure your fullback up there, they take the responsibility of counting all the linemen of St. John's. Give your left or right call. Make sure you get the punt and get it away.
Piscatella, an excellent punter. Standing back at the 41, booms this one downfield. O'Leary will take it and call for a fair catch at the 16-yard line. 84 yards away for the Redmen. 1:43 the time remaining.
And very surprising that St. John's didn't go for a pump block. Instead, they set up a return. O'Leary calls for a fair catch.
And St. John's, with one timeout remaining, takes over officially at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10. Sean Sharkey has not thrown the ball well today, but he's got to do it here. Sharkey going to the near sideline. Fine attempt by Iadivio. And he makes the catch and is out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 37-yard line. Good sellout by Iadivio to come up with that catch.
And Iadivio is going to get bumped at the 5-yard marker. He turns around, he goes down and up. Sharkey delivers, picks up a first down.
Sharkey now 12 for 33 for 126 yards. He'll try Russo. Russo hit and taken down. Fine defensive play by Iacovacci. No huddle again for St. John's. The clock continues to run. They have one timeout remaining. 2nd and let's call it 8.
And we're down inside 1:15.
Sharkey looking for the sideline, complete to Cadiz. He will go out of bounds. It will be shy of the first down by about 1.5 yards, but it will stop the clock, Marty, with 1:09 remaining.
And what it does is it gives St. John's offense a chance to go back, huddle up, call a few more plays. It's 3rd and 1. Look for Russo to carry the ball, pick up the first down, then a hurry-up offense.
Of course, in college ball, when they move the change, they do stop the clock. 3rd and 1 at the 46-yard line. Charlie Broadway in the ball game as a receiver. Russo has the first down and more. And he should go down here and stop the clock here. And the whistle does blow, stopping the clock with now 1:02 remaining. They'll move the change. Again, the hurry-up offense, the no huddle for St. John's. Now they motion the clock back. Sharkey back to throw. Play faking. Has time, looking for the sideline for Iadivio, and he's hit as he tried to make the catch. Fazio on the coverage.
And he had Iadivio open. You don't have to pump. All you have to do is get it to him. Right there, Iadivio's wide open. There's a big cushion. Fazio's 5 yards deep. Don't pump. You got to pump it to him.
And again, this pass defense, #1 in pass defense efficiency, and they're being tested right now. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. St. John's trailing by 5. 54 seconds to go in the game. Sharkey throwing, open Iadivio. First down and more. Inside the 25, and the clock will stop now at the 23-yard line is the ball.
And he comes back with the same play. Instead of pumping it, this time he delivers it. Iadivio's wide open, and we got 47 seconds left to play.
1st and 10 for the Redmen. One timeout remaining. They'll try Russo. Russo, trip, Gates going at the 15. Russo to the 10, the 5, touchdown!
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Georgetown owned them the whole day except for the 4th quarter. Here he is, number 21. He'll go in the record books again, Barry. Anthony Russo, just an incredible afternoon.
St. John's trailed 24-0. And that was Russo's 50-yard touchdown run that ignited reignited a dormant, sleeping St. John's football team. He has scored 3 touchdowns, and now his team leads by 1 point, 25-24. They'll go for 2 here. There's no point in going for 1 at this point. And what an incredible comeback. And again, St. John's does it. 84 yards, Marty Lyons, in what, about a minute?
And they move the ball down, well-controlled offense. Anthony Russo, we have him unofficially at 244 yards. They controlled him for 3 quarters. Hey, you got to control this man for 16 minutes. There's Bob Rickey. He's talking to Sean Sharkey. Sharkey, you can throw the numbers out. You orchestrated a great win here this afternoon.
That last touchdown run of 24 yards for Anthony Russo, his 3rd touchdown run of the day, close to that mark of 250 yards in which he's averaged against Georgetown in his 4-year career.
Well, remember, he needed 253 yards today to take over Division III all-time rushing. Unofficially, we have him at 244.
They're going for 2 here. Remember, there's time left. Here's Sharkey in trouble. Nowhere to go. He's going to try to carry it himself. Dives toward the end zone and is shy. So Sharkey's attempt for the 2-point conversion goes awry. But Bob Rick, if your mother's watching at home, and she's got to be happy, take it easy, he said, Mom. He said, if you're watching the game, we're going to come back. But Sharkey is hurt on the play and appears to be pretty badly shaken up at the moment. Now, we still have 35 seconds remaining. And let us take a look at the touchdown maker, Anthony Russo, once again.
And Anthony Russo right here, watch his leg drive. He gets almost tripped up right there. He keeps his balance. He gets a great block out there. And it's official. He finishes the day with 237 yards rushing, only 16 yards behind that Division III record.
The Cardiac kids from Jamaica. The 4th quarter gets lucky. You'll see Sidor. He slipped that 1 tackle. Yakabachi has a chance at him here. He gets by Yakabachi, and he's home free
but
here.
The balance that he showed, Barry, to keep his feet. Remember, the turf is wet. He keeps his feet. He takes them in for the score. 35 seconds left. Can Georgetown pull it off? Remember, all they need is a field goal.
They only have 1 timeout remaining, you'll recall. So St. John's coming back incredibly from a 24-0 deficit on the road. They looked shot, Marty. They had no life in this football game. And then one play, Anthony Russo on that 50-yard touchdown after the interception thrown in the touchdown run by Fazio, and turned the game around as far as the momentum for
Well, we talked about this game is made up of emotion and enthusiasm. Georgetown played that way for 15 minutes today, and they may walk away with the victory.
Right now, Ledwood kicking off. St. John's will not try to kick this one deep. It's taken by Fazio. He's a fan returner. Fazio almost to midfield. Big pile up there, and he's down at around the 48-yard line. Clock stops now with 27 seconds remaining. And Billy Ring going to try to air one out, I'm sure, here to a couple of his speedy receivers.
Well, they got plenty of time. All you have to do is throw some down and out. You only have 1 timeout. You're going to have to use the sidelines to stop the clock.
They only have to get within field goal range because they are trailing only by a point, and they've got a fine kicker we've seen already in Brendan Gaughan.
Well, Barry, you got to figure last time he had a field goal to count to 45 yards. He was short. They're going to have to move the ball within down to at least the 25-yard line for a good field goal to count.
Odd Ring rolling right. Plenty of time. Looking downfield for Belkin. Throws for the sideline. Shorter for Coleman. Coleman out of bounds. Makes the catch up and around the 43-yard line of St. John's.
And the play only took 6 seconds. They're going into a hurry-up offense. There's Bill Ring. He's trying to take control.
Well, that conference football, wild and woolly. It's been an outstanding finish here. Hope you're enjoying it. We're still not finished. Bill Ring rolling to the near side with time throwing. Coleman with the catch. And again, the clock showing 14 seconds left. They still have not called their timeout. Hurry up as they set the ball. They'll mark the chains and set the clock back in motion.
You don't want to use your timeout until you bring out your field goal kicker. There it is, the spike by Bill Ring. That will stop the clock.
And it stops it, as you see, with 10 seconds left. And Bill Ring will come to the sideline to talk to the offensive coordinator, Sean Halloran, the former Boston College quarterback.
Well, you have time, Barry, for one down and out. You want to make the big completion of about 10 yards, then bring it out, leave it up to your field goal kicker.
When play resumes, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Anthony Russo with touchdown runs of 50 and 24 yards. And a short 3-yard touchdown run has brought his team back. Here we go now on 2nd down. Ring throwing for the sideline, way overthrows his intended receiver, Belkin. Good coverage by St. John's, and the clock now shows 6 seconds. So we're coming down, Marty, to perhaps the last play right here.
It very well could be the last play. That play right there took 4 seconds. They're going to have to go down and out. Bill Ring's going to have to make that decision. If nobody's open, hey, throw it down deep into the end zone. Maybe you can get a flag.
So here we go with what could be the final play. DeWitt, Belkin, and Coleman, 3 speedsters line up wide to the right. Ring back to throw. Throwing for the sideline, complete to Coleman. He's taken down inbounds. The clock runs out, and the Redmen of St. John's have stormed back. It's the biggest St. John's comeback in the history of their football program as they come back from 24-point deficit. Now the two teams on the field. There's a discussion, however, going on. Was there time left? And we'll hold it here.
Harry, as I was watching the clock, I believe the game should be over. We'll wait and see what the officials. You see Bob Ricca. He's putting in his opinion here.
It's over. It's over, folks. Referee James Slavey has indicated that time has run out, and what a frustrating day it is for this young coach, but you got to like what he's done to this program.
What a great effort, but how many times have we seen Bob Ricca in the past
pull it out?
Pull it out. We talked to him at halftime, and then we talked to him at the end of the game. What a great victory, and remember, that sets up Iona next week. And also, if Bob Ricca wins, that's his 100th career victory at St. John.
He's going to remember number 99, though, for a long time. And I'm sure his mother watching at home again in Smithtown, very happy. Let's look at the last play. Coleman will come up with the reception, and we'll take a look right here and keep an eye on the clock as well.
Well, here, you only have 6 seconds. It's ticking down. There's Bill Ring. He throws it at the receiver, catches the ball. He's going to try to signal for timeout right there. He's signaling, but the play is still continuing. The receiver has yet to hit the ground.
So a remarkable story here at Georgetown. We mentioned at the top these two teams have played some great football games in the past, a lot of great basketball games, but standing by down on the field, and we'll go to him very shortly, is our Carl Reuter as he awaits to chat with Bob Ricca, and this should be a very interesting conversation as the two are just about ready down on the field. So let's go to Bob Ricca and our Carl Reuter.
All right, Barry, and Coach Rick is going to probably bring about 25 or 50 of his players here. Biggest comeback in St. John's football history, and now it sets up a showdown next Friday night.
Okay, I've been looking at this all year. We almost let it slip through our fingers here today, Carl, but fantastic.
Why did it take so long? How do you get behind the 8 ball at 24-0 and come back and win this football game?
Hey, we talked at halftime, you know, a few adjustments for them, but these kids are great. Hey, Sharkey called almost every play on the ball by himself in the second half. Great job engineering the team. Russo, you know why, he's one of the best backs to ever play the game of football. Fantastic job.
The last drive was incredible.
Entire second half was incredible. You know, all 25 points are incredible.
All right, the guy behind you, where is he? He's hiding there. Anthony Russo's running away. We're going to grab him back here, but Anthony's going to come over here. You
hey, let me say hello to my sick mother, just came out of the hospital.
I was going to say someone special at home watching this one there. All right, talk to me now. All right, 237 yards. They're calling you the franchise here. 3 touchdowns today, including the last one, which will be a little difficult for us to see from this vantage point, but you were able to hold your balance.
Well, you know, it's just a tribute to all the rest of the guys on the team that, you know, blocked for me. I'm about to cry. I can't believe, you know, it's a lot of heart that everyone stuck together in the fourth quarter when things looked really bad. And, you know, these guys held together, the offensive line, you know, everyone out there, the whole team held together, and it was incredible that we came back, and a lot of heart on Sharkey and a lot of poise. And, you know, it's a credit to the whole team. This is a great win, and
Anthony, you know this was the greatest comeback in St. John's football history, trailing 24-0.
That's because, you know, we got all these guys out here. Got all these guys out here stuck together in the whole fourth quarter when we were down like that.
Well, Coach, that's some big words there. Go ahead.
Mac, what's up?
Who are you talking to here? Sean Sharkey coming in here. Local guy from Valley Stream, Long Island. You got to be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, I am. I'm proud of these guys.
Oh, wait. These guys, gotta love these guys, huh? All right. Seemed to be some problems there, the line. Little trouble blocking, not maybe as a unit. One guy here, one guy there. What was the difference in the second half?
We came together and we played hard and we kicked ass.
That's it, yeah. You really did. Okay, now wait. All right, fellas, you got this one now. But next Friday night, Iona.
Coming for you, Iona.
13 years in a row.
Coach, one last question here. You always have trouble with Iona. You always have some great football games. Your thoughts on Harold Crocker's team right now?
Well, we've beaten Iona 12 years in a row. They have to worry about us. See why we came
They
back
always give you
today?
that good one.
Oh, they give us a great game. They're a great football team, and we respect them immensely. But 12 in a row, and we're coming back now with a win like this, we're ready for them.
21 is the greatest football player in St. John's history, you said?
Yeah. Hey, he's the greatest, one of the greatest in America. What is he?
He'll do that next week. 16 yards shy, I believe. He had 237 today.
So he's going to wind up probably second or third in the all-time list of all the thousands of people who carried the ball. So you told me, you know.
I'll tell you. We'll see you, well, next week, perhaps against Iona there. Good one for you coming up, and enjoy the bus ride home.
Thank you. We sure will, Carl.
All right, Coach Bob Ricka, the St. John's Redmen, come back with a tremendous come-from-behind win, 25-24 over Georgetown. Back with some closing words right after this.
With an incredible finish as they come from a 24-point deficit and pull it out 25-24 and keep their MAC Conference Championship hopes alive. And just a remarkable performance by a gutty team, and especially by Anthony Russo.
I think Anthony Russo said it all. This team has heart. Remember, they were outplayed, maybe even outcoached for 45 minutes. They come on in the fourth quarter. They just pour it on. This team believes in each other. They believe in the program, and it sets up for a great showdown next week against Iona.
Well, Iona with the great passing attack, Tom Prudian, should be a tremendous game next Friday night at St. John's University. But here today, St. John's, really a flat team for most of the game, comes back and does a tremendous job pulling it out on the 24-yard touchdown run by Anthony Russo. Once again, the final score, St. John's 25 and Georgetown 24. Remember, tonight on Sports Channel, the Islanders in West Channel.
This is